All right, we should be good to go. I want to make sure it's showing up correctly. Hey, Nick. Hey, P-Day. Carrie, Kaylee, Amanda, Angel, Patsy. Let me check, make sure it's showing up right. Yep, we're good. Okay. How's everyone doing tonight? I am not going to be on camera tonight. This is going to be more like a podcast kind of, but I'm going to interact with y'all. I'll probably get emotional, so that's another reason that I'm not going to have the camera on. All right, let's see who all is here. I don't know what happened. I lost connection. Amanda, Kaylee, Helen, Patsy, hey Uber, Darcy, Crystal, Diane, Beck, Laura, Anna, P-Day, Kathy, Donna, Angel. I don't remember if I said Angel. Said hey Nick, hey Carrie, hey Candace, hey Punky. I really appreciate y'all's messages too. That I've got. Amanda, I will once I get ready for that. Hello, Stormy Jane. Welcome. Hi, Darcy. I'm actually tired because I've not slept. Yeah, that's how I fall asleep every night, Beck. I'll fall asleep watching or listening rather to live streams. Hey, Vixen. Just because you're not the actual addict, addiction still affects you. Hello, Eris. No problem, Kaylee. Hey, Jillian, how are you? Donna, you have the sound muted? I hope I'm not. Can y'all hear me? I can't see my Google side because I've got the screen where it'll show the chat. Hey, Deborah, Mordecai, how are you? Okay, so everything's good. Y'all, it feels weird without this chat flying by. I am good, Jillian. I do want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Hey, Tammy, that has messaged me or DM'd me or called me or texted me. It really means a lot. Hey, Kit Kat, how are you, darling? I missed your live stream last night, but it really means a lot. So I guess we'll get started. Well, let me find the charger to this. Like I said, no, I'm not going to be on camera tonight. Y'all, I do not like for my weaknesses to show. If anyone wants a link, just let me know. You're more than welcome to come on. I am going to basically open it up first, and then I'll give out the links if anyone would like to come on. I understand that, Debbie. It's people, places, and things is what they tell you. You have to, remove yourself from that. Addiction affects more than just one person. Yes, Beck, absolutely. Hey, Laser Beans, how are you? Hey, Savage. How are you doing? The chat is a little bit behind. I have bad echoing. Do I really? Let's see. Does anyone else have echoing? I'll have my headphones in. Good, laser beams. I'm good. I'm good. No echo. Okay. Hey, Sheldon. How are you? You want to show off your makeup? Beck, I can send you a link. I just need an email address or Twitter. Send it to you on Twitter. Y'all, I have had. Hey, Joe. How are you? Hey, Janice. Anna. I've had the worst time. I've been debating all day on this Morphe collection, y'all. And then when I go to check out, I'll think, well, I could use this $200 something to do this with. Or I could use it to do this. I'm still debating. I'm not sold on it yet. So we'll see. And then BH Cosmetics has one getting ready to release. I think it's the 17th. Something like that. Hey, crazy cat lady. I haven't seen you in a while. In your dreams, I haven't seen you. That's when I like to listen, Darcy's, when I'm doing something. Especially if I don't, like, need to look at the video. You got the small palettes and the lipstick. See, I like the nudes, Vixen. I like the metallics. Hey, Ricky. You know what, though, Ricky? Now that you say that, I just asked my daughter. I had to pick her up. She had to stay after school till 6 o'clock. And I asked her, I was like, what do y'all want for Christmas? Mama, I don't want nothing. There's nothing I don't need. There's nothing I want. I just want some skinny jeans. So my kids don't need nothing. Hey, Irish Mom. Glad you came by. That's like one of my splurges is like makeup. I say makeup, jewelry, clothes, pocketbooks, shoes. You can't hear anything, Laura? Refresh it. See if it's any better. So yeah, I've been debating on that all day. I even put my little code in and all that. I took the brush set that was $79, took it out the cart and added it again and took it out again. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Because I was thinking about the little palettes, Vixen, for my daughter. And I was like, Haley, you don't want any makeup? No, Mama. It's really not bad, Savage. I had the whole collection in there, but like one thing. And it was like $230 something. All right, Angel. A Nintendo Switch. The only thing one of them's asked for, Hunter is wanting a gaming computer. But I told him he's not even old enough for a gaming computer. So I'm thinking about getting me a new computer and giving him my laptop. But they just got brand new phones. He's got the Galaxy 8 Plus and Haley's got the iPhone 8 Plus. You might have it on mute, Laura, or have your volume down. See, Vixen, when it comes to a gaming thing, that's what I was thinking about him. I'm computer illiterate, y'all. I don't know nothing about it. This one, matter of fact, was running so slow. I got this one when I was in school, in college. It was running so slow, I just factory reset the whole thing. And I have two kids. The Morphe Christmas collection. It was released today. You can rock any game. Well, I need to get with you on that then, because that's what he's wanting. And matter of fact, I have a desktop computer that's not even used and 2 more laptops. All right, Ricky, thanks for stopping by. I'm hoping to be back home and out of the RV. I was just talking about Thanksgiving today, what they want to cook. All right, y'all, I guess we'll get started. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I like to do our addiction streams. And I thought for tonight, we'll kind of talk about really anything, but I'm going to talk about, you know, oh, somebody's background, the reasons why you start addiction. And I'm going to tell you my story, why I started in active addiction, which I don't think I've shared it before. So we'll see. Y'all, I'm nervous, and I don't usually get nervous. Hey, lady. I saw that on your Twitter. Kaylee, I tried to help you with that. And I do. Y'all know I leave it open to anybody and everyone that wants to come on. So once I put this out there, then I'll send, you know, links of anybody that wants to come on and talk. So addiction. There's many different reasons why people, I think, you know, start with addiction. I have had, you know, a doctor tell me that it's genetic. On now my mother's side of the family, there's no history of addiction. I call them quote unquote high class people. They, you know, all of us have graduated high school. We've all went to college. They're well off. They're all nurses. My grandma's a nurse. My mom's a nurse. My aunt's a nurse. My great grandma's a nurse. My cousin's a dental hygienist. I did not choose to go in the medical profession. But now my daddy's side, he was an alcoholic. So there's addiction that runs on that side. Of course, I had problems with addiction. I call myself the black sheep of the family. I'm the only one that had an addiction problem or has been to jail, so on and so on. That's why I call myself the black sheep. Hey, Stacy, where have you been? I haven't seen you. Good to see you. What was I saying? Oh, the black sheep. Now, a lot of you know that my first husband, the father of my children, he was an addict, and he did pass away in 2010. So when I had him involuntarily committed through probate court for rehab, he had to be assessed by these 2 doctors. And they told me there was a 90% chance that, you know, my children may have some sort of addiction problem if I did not put them in Al-Anon classes. And for those of you that do not know what Al-Anon is, it is for those that aren't, you know, hey, Regina, the actual addict. It is for other members of the family. Because with addiction, it affects not just the person in active addiction, but everyone around them. So, with that being said, you know, I guess it is hereditary, I guess you could say. But then again, I think, you know, I've always said a lot of things are mind over matter. And I really think that. So I'm going to get started. You were, okay, yeah, my mom. Okay, so your mom went to the classes. And, you know, y'all, I would get so frustrated with this doctor. Me and him, I still remember his name. I remember what he looks like. I can remember it all. Me and him would go head to head because he was telling me I was enabling my husband. And I didn't want to hear it. I said, no, I'm not. I'm not enabling him. How am I enabling him? And all I want him to do is get clean for his family. So me and him would go back and forth at it. But he says, I tell you what, he gave me, you know, this pamphlet that had these classes and stuff in it. And he told me, you know, go to Al-Anon and get an understanding. So that's what I did. But me and him would go round and round. All right, when I feel like my addiction, what started me in it, it leads to me, yes, Kate Crusader, it is. Law of attraction. Yeah, a lot of people do that. When I was in the between my 5th and 6th grade year, my mom still currently lives in Texas. Okay, that's where I was living at the time. I would always come to South Carolina. That's where all my family lives. My daddy's side of the family and my mama's side of the family. She got remarried when I was in I want to say it was 1st grade, to this man who lived 2 houses down from us. Hey, Lulu. I was just reading your comment. He lived 2 houses down from us, and she got remarried. Well, he was from Texas. That's where his family is from. So we moved to Texas when I was in the 4th grade. The summer between my 5th and 6th grade year, like I said, I'd fly every summer, and my daddy would pick me up from the airport, and I would stay the summer with him. Well, I have a cousin that's 8 months older than me. Can I just say this? Sorry, but none of my family. Nothing. I was the only one that has become addicted. Same for me, Beck. Hey, sweetie. Why do I keep saying Kathy, I did too. I went round and round with him. I said, I don't need no classes. I'm not the one on drugs. And I would just go off on him. I got so frustrated and mad. All right, so that summer I came, and I have a cousin that's 8 months older than me. So we were like best friends. And, you know, we didn't get to see each other but during the summer. Once, you know, my mom moved away. So during that summer, I confided in her about me being molested. And I remember this going on for years, but I knew it was wrong, but I was scared to tell anyone. I was scared, you know, a lot of times the person that's abusing you will tell you, if you tell anybody, I'm going to hurt you, or I'm going to hurt your mama, or you're going to break up our family, whatever it may be. Hey, Robin. So that, you know, that's what he told me. Or, you know, they wouldn't believe me. You know, they tell you these things, not in every situation, but in some they do. And that was my situation. So I confided in my cousin of what was going on. I became very isolated and withdrawn. And what I would do is I would put all my focus. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Smiley. I would put all my focus into school. I was a straight A student, gifted and talented. That's just like, you know, that's what I poured my heart and soul into, was my schoolwork and music. I was really talented in music. I did chorus and band all the way through school, all the way through high school till I graduated. And I would, you know, I'd love to sing and write poetry. So that's what I would do to pass the time. So during the summer, I confided in my cousin, you know, what was going on at home. Well, I made her promise that she wasn't going to tell anybody. But do you think she did? Yes, she did. Hey, Blue Eyes. Bless my phone. Let me see you. I don't have the camera on me, P-Day. You should just see the chat. Hey, Nanette. I'm going to answer that for you. Hey, Kelly. Yeah, I don't want you to be sorry because don't feel sorry for me. I don't want pity. I've been through a lot of hurt, a lot of heartache, a lot of struggles, a lot of trials. But you take those and you turn it around, the negative, and you turn them into positive. And you help other people. Kate, Al-Anon, they, addiction is very hard to understand. And you have to get, I'm not on screen tonight because I get emotional. And I want it to be like a podcast where you can, just listen, but I do have the chat up here. You have to, addiction is very complex and you have to really understand it. I still, some things I could never understand why he was doing this. I would say, if he loved us, why don't he just stop? And you have to, not enable them. And my grandma says sometimes tough love is the best love. And it is true. All right. So, hey, Froggy. I tell my cousin. My cousin does not keep it a secret. She went behind my back and she went and told my aunt, which was her mother, which is my mom's sister. Which I would have done the same thing. So she did the right thing. Was I mad? Yes, I was mad as fire at her. But I did, forgive her. Okay, so long story short, I ended up staying with my aunt during my 6th grade year, and that was in Charleston, South Carolina. So I stayed that school year with her and my cousin and my uncle. Well, the school year, was coming to a close, and the summer was coming back around. So, of course, I stayed the summer like I did with my daddy any other summer. And from my understanding, now I do remember, y'all, this never went to court. To this day, I don't know why it didn't, but it didn't. I remember a lady coming to talk to me a couple of different times. And she had like a notepad, and she was talking to me or whatever. But when I went, my mom at that, she says it was social services, child protective services, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. At that time, looking back now, it may have been. I really don't know. But I think what they did was put like, a treatment plan, a plan of action for me to return back home with her. Well, the stipulations were that, when I did go back to Texas with my mom, that he would no longer be in the home. Well, I go back. He's there. So what happens? It starts again. Not long after I went back home, it starts again. That is what I know. That is what led me to my addiction. I started sneaking out the house, running away, skipping school, smoking marijuana, and that's where it started. I was older now. I was what, 7th grade? Yeah, 7th grade, getting ready, hit high school. I didn't have but like another year before I'd be in high school. So I ended up staying like a year and a half. And I went to my mama. I said, Mama, he's doing it again. And I didn't feel comfortable, but You know, who was I going to reach out to? I didn't have my daddy's number. I wasn't allowed to talk with him. She kept me from my daddy. The only time that I would see my daddy, you know, was during the summer, but I didn't have contact with him throughout the rest of the year. I didn't have a number to call. I didn't have my grandma's number, nothing. It was like I was secluded. I was just with her and him. Okay, well, I felt like that my mama did not believe me, because how could she put me back in the home with this man? I'm just reading over y'all's comments. Be careful, Beck. Addiction to ease the pain. And I'm going to get into that. Hey, sister. Blue Eyes did the same. Okay. You know, I just couldn't fathom why she put me back in the home with this man. You know, he's already did this to me. And y'all, it wasn't like 1 or 2 times. No, I was not raped, but he would touch me, and, you know, in places that he shouldn't have, kissing on my neck. And I got into the habit of sleeping fully clothed from my head to my feet, because it was harder, you know, for him to touch me through the clothes. I would like layer myself up. So, you know, my mom was like, why are you showing your tail? Why are you getting in trouble? Why are you being like this? And I just exploded one day, and I told her. Well, what did she do? Nonetheless, but packed my shit and said, you're going to your daddy's. If you can't listen to me and I can't do nothing with you, I'm sending you to your daddy's. So for me, you know, that was relief. Yes, I get out of here. So I just went to showing my tail, and she basically got rid of me instead of fixing the problem, is how I felt. All right, so she packs my stuff up, and I fly into Charlotte, North Carolina, and my daddy picks me up. I want to say this was like right towards the end of my 8th grade year, maybe 9th grade. So that is where my drug addiction started. That is where I started experimenting. That's where I started skipping school, you know, on and on and on. Why did I do that? Looking back now, to cover the pain, so I didn't have to deal with it. Of course, you know, then they try to sit me in front of these psychiatrists, and I didn't want to talk to them. I've always been that way. I'm the type of person, I do not like to talk about my problems or my issues. I'm a good listener, and I like to help other people with theirs instead of talking about mine. Good night, Tammy. Love you. With that being said, me and my mother had no type of relationship. Even the year that I spent with my aunt, my mom, I think she called me one time during that year. She did go on to have 2 other children, 2 girls, with my stepdaddy. I've been getting to that, Kate. So there was no relationship, no phone calls, no interaction, no anything. Well, of course, you know, I live with my daddy. That's where she sent me to. And I've already mentioned he was an alcoholic. Okay. Well, it didn't last long being there, 6 months, because he couldn't get me back and forth to school like he was supposed to. So I called my grandma, and I told her what was going on, which I'm in high school now. So, you know, I'm a little bit older. And she comes and gets me. Well, I told my daddy, you know, exactly how I felt about him at that time. And I walked away, and he had tears in his eyes. Did it break my heart? Yes. But it's like I felt like I had to get it off my chest. So I then go stay with my great grandma. That is who raised me, my great grandma. I live with her. And like I've said before, you know, I was raised in a Christian home. Church was not an option for me. I had to go to church. If I did not go to church on Sunday, I did not get to go out that next weekend. If I wasn't in church on Wednesday, you know, they basically put me on restriction. Whether I wanted to be there or not, I had to be there, which I'm thankful for. That's why I take my children to church. And, you know, I learned a lesson for that. You know, it's not that I didn't know any better when I was doing wrong. I knew better. But I feel like if you teach them the right way and they stray away from that, they will come back to what they were taught. And that's very true. I mean, I had that conscious of, I knew I was doing wrong. I knew better than what I was doing. All right. I'll put the link in the chat in a minute, Stacy. All right. Now, so I've moved in with my great grandma. That's when the healing process starts. Okay. Yes, Kate, there he is. It is. And a lot of y'all know what went down last night. I was in tears. In my situation, you know, even my own mama, me as a mother now, I would never, you know, question my children about that. I'm very protective over them. I always, you know, when my daughter was younger and I was given, you know, I had to wash them. I was still washing them because they were children. I would say, you know, has anybody touched you? You know, I was very peculiar about where she slept. If, you know, when me and her daddy separated, it's just, you know, little things like that because of what I've been through. She's not one that leaves home. She doesn't go stay at other places. If, you know, she wants friends, they come here. I've always just been really protective over my children, I guess, because of the experiences that I've been through. So the healing process starts. Like I said, I would sleep fully clothed. It took me many, many years to get out of that. Good night, Debbie. Hey, Erica. Good night, Jillian. It took me many, many years to get out of that. And I did not trust people. It was very hard for me to trust anyone. It was very hard. I was not the type that had boyfriends in high school. No, 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 no. I had guys that were friends, but I could never, I didn't want that relationship. I was scared of being hurt. I didn't trust anyone. I was very leery. And to be honest, y'all, that, you know, it took me many, many years to heal from all of that. And that experience is why I went in, you know, why I went to college for what I did. Hi, Mama 3. Yes, Angel, it will stay up. Good night, Patsy. Okay, so I made it through high school. You know, I finally, quote unquote, got my shit together. My grandma did not put me in counseling. To be honest, I was blessed with me, you know, being in church. That's where I found my love, my healing, was through church. So what happened? I met the father of my children. He came from a very dysfunctional family. And that is when I got introduced to narcotics, pills. Hey, Nancy. In which I'll go in, I'll probably save that for another stream. you know, after I graduated, how I got into the pill addiction part. But the point I wanted to make tonight, you know, was telling about being molested. You know, that's somebody's story. And I want to tell each and every one, you know, if you're experiencing that, or you're scared, or you don't know what to do not hold it in. I held it in for years and years and years. And it's not going to do anything but just eat at you. That's all. I was very emotional. I would cry all the time. I even had high blood pressure when I lived with my mama. And it's just because all the stress that I was under. And I thank God every day that I had a loving grandma like I did to save me. Hey, Jess. And I strive, you know, she's gone now, but I strive each and every day to make her proud. You know, I'm not perfect by no means. I make bad mistakes. And Stephanie, I'm going to go into that too. And that's what I tell y'all. God, I truly believe God puts people in your life for a reason. My husband now, he was molested as a child, and he carried that around with him. He was married previously. Actually, he was married the same years that I was married to my first husband. And I knew him all through school, and they divorced the same year that me and my husband did. But he carried that around with him until he was 32 years old. I was the first person that he told. And that blew my mind. I was like, why? You were married to the mother of your children for 10 years and had 3 children with her, but you never told her that? Why didn't she know that? And it was because he didn't trust her. Did you always remember it, or was there a period of time? Laser, to be honest, I would I would block it out. There's a lot of things I've blocked out of my life. And Stacy, that's true. We don't all have the same experience, but through those experiences, we feel the same emotions. So never be scared to tell someone, yeah, you feel uncomfortable, and, you know, they may be telling you, I'm going to hurt you, or I'm going to hurt this person, or whatever, but do not keep it in. You know, I just couldn't, that bumfuzzled me as to why. I was like, you know, you were married to this person for this long, you had children with them, they should have known you inside and out, and he's still carrying this around with him. So, and it was only, I think it was like 3, might have been 4 years ago now that, you know, he finally got that out. But that's a long time, you know, to tote that around. And even with him, his actions, y'all, it is, I always say, I think your childhood has like the biggest impact on your adulthood. I think it's responsible for a lot of things that you do, whether it be criminally, you know, drug activity, whatever it is. Hey, Chrissy. Exactly, Blue Eyes. And that's what I'm going to go on to. Exactly, Stephanie. You have to find that person that you trust, but, you know, you have to let it out. You have to open up, and you have to say, I'm to the point now, you know, where I can say, hey, this is my story. This is what happened to me, but I've overcome it. And I use that to try to help other people. Debbie, I'll pray for you. It's not easy, y'all. And actually, I've only teared up one time tonight. So, the more you talk about it, the stronger you get. And I mean that. The more you talk about it, the stronger you get. And you never know that one person that you could be reaching by talking about it. You never know. Wow, Jesse. Y'all, there's so many of y'all that have stories of your own. I get that, Debbie. I completely get that. Laser, don't cry. You were so kind-hearted. Kathy, yeah, I kind of get that. Yeah, I wish I could give each one of you a hug. But I was about to say something. I don't remember what I was going to say now. All right, so that's just a little piece of it. Now, somebody asked, do I speak to my mom now? So, let's see. How old was I? 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I was 11 years old. Or, no, I was 10 years old when I told my cousin about that, okay? I am 36 years old now. So 10, and I'm 36 now. I did not speak to my mother. We had no type of relationship, no type of communication until last September, not this past September, September of 2016, when I was diagnosed with cancer. Exactly, B. She says, do not allow the abuser to hold that power over you. That's very true. The more that I speak on it, the easier it gets. I could look him in his face today and it wouldn't faze me. Okay, so last September 2016 is when my mama, I guess my grandma or my aunt told her that I had cancer, because my aunt's right there in Charleston. She works at Roper Hospital. And I went to the cancer center there in Charleston where I had my surgery. So I'm sure, I didn't ask, but I'm sure one of them reached out to my mama. And she ended up, I didn't even know she was coming. Her and my sister and my niece ended up showing up that September and staying for a week. And that is when we mended our relationship. Yes, Kathy. And there's so much more to this, y'all. When my sister got to about my age, well, she was about 9th grade, she started doing the same thing. She started skipping school, her grades dropped, and she started smoking dope and drinking. And I told my mama, I said, you better go check and see if her daddy is molesting her. And I just found out this year, not even a couple of months ago, that it wasn't her daddy, but it was his brother was molesting her. And my brother. Her and my brother. So that was 3 children in that one home had been molested. Anna, yes, I am. I went through 4 surgeries. They went and took the melanoma out of my back, and then they had to go in and take my lymph nodes out. And my next PET scan will be, it's almost a year since I've had surgery now. January will be a year, but my PET scan for my 1 year is coming up December. And I'm not lucky, I'm blessed. And y'all don't forget to keep B in prayer. Donna, that's true. My grandma kept telling me, she said, Laura, yes, Froggy Girl, I do read. She says, Laura, you know, you don't have to forget, hey, Ricky, what your mama did to you. You'll never forget it, but you have to forgive her. You will never make it into heaven by not forgiving her and holding that grudge or having hate in your heart. So that is, you know, when she showed up in September, that is when, you know, I'll never forget it. Like I told her, I said, you know, I don't understand it. As me, as a mother now, how could you ever do me like that? I could never do my children that way. But I told her, you know, you messed up with me. How about make it right with my children? And I left it on that. Prayers for you, Lulu. Tomorrow night we will be having like a Bible study and prayer stream tomorrow night. And B and Randy are planning on going on from 6 to 8, and I'll come on after them to do that. Crystal, I hope you get to feeling better. So that's just what I'm going to leave it at that tonight, and then I'm going to send links for y'all to come on, which there's a whole lot more, you know, that goes with that. You know, as I got older and, you know, used drugs as coping. But that's what I want to talk about with the addiction. You know, 9 times out of 10, there is a reason why that person is using drugs. I don't know of anybody that said, hey, I wake up and say, I just want to be a drug addict today. I don't know anybody. Maud, I do not support anything that happened last night. I did not speak on it. If you go to my Twitter, I, you know, put it out there pretty much how I felt today. And like I said, I was in tears last night. No matter how much, I don't hate anybody, but no matter how much I dislike a person, I still have, you know, sympathy for them. And I'll say that, let me tell you, it's nobody's business to dig into my childhood. I didn't understand it. I don't know, you know, if what was said was true. What does it change? Nothing. That's nobody's business. And that's just how I feel. It makes it harder for others to speak up. And that's what my point that I wanted to say tonight. Do not be scared to come forward. Do not be scared of whatever they're holding over your head. And nobody wakes up and says, hey, I'm going to be a druggie today. It doesn't happen. Good night, Debbie. All right. So if anyone wants a link, let me know, and I'll let you come on. And I will continue, you know, talking more about it. Let's be honest, a huge percentage of girls are molested, so it hurt me. I completely agree. I was crying, and it had nothing to do with me, just because I could relate. And a lot of people, Nancy says, I used to kill the pain. That is what I used my narcotics for, was to cope with the pain I was feeling. I didn't have to feel it. I didn't have to deal with life. I appreciate that, Kelly. Nick, I didn't know you're still here. And that is something, Nick, that I admire in you. I have seen how much you have turned your life around since then. I've watched that. I agree, Stephanie. Yes, numb yourself. So then you don't have to deal with it. Bless, I missed if you said how you got better. You have to work through it, Angel. You have to forgive people and not let them hold that power over you. I agree, Laura. I was the worst victim because I didn't know what happened. And Kathy, I think I did that also in a way, to be honest. I think I always downplay it in my mind. And y'all, for a long time, I just push it to the back of my head and try not to think about it. There's a lot of things, memories and stuff that I blocked out in my childhood. I by no means had, a good childhood, but you take those negatives and you turn them into positives. I don't want to be on panel. Yeah, I'm not reading these out loud. Oh, it's a therapy person. And sweet, the thing is, a lot of people, that's just like with him. And there's more to that. When my mom went through her divorce, she had the audacity to reach out to me and ask me if I would get on stand and testify in her divorce of him molesting me. And I was floored. I was like, are you kidding me? After all I went through and you weren't there to support me through it, but you want me to come testify for you in your divorce because you don't want him to get his hands on the land and stuff you own? No, thank you. Bye, Felicia. And I didn't do it. I refused to. How did I get off pills? I'm going to talk more about that on Thursday, but I have never been in an institution. I did it myself. And by the grace of God. I'm not going to say by myself, but through the grace of God. Yeah, if I could probably write 2 or 3 books, to be honest. Amanda, I'm going to DM it to you. All right, let me go. And so that's just a little portion of my story that I shared with y'all tonight. And again, anyone, that's out there that's been affected, don't hold it in. Put it out there. Somebody, I promise, somebody is listening to you, and there are people there for you to help you. And, you take back that power from them. Hold on, y'all. Let me stop this because I don't want to show everybody my DMs. All right, let me hit stop. Messages. All right, if there's anyone else that wants a link, just let me know. When I went into treatment, I started sharing experiences. The group members were shocked. I didn't consider some things abuse. Exactly, Nancy. I didn't either. Thought I was normal. And that was your normal. Kate, you are so salty over Nick. Are you jealous or what? Or are you trolling? What is the deal? My therapist. See, when that person says, I don't like therapy, I get that because I've been sat in front of that desk in that big chair, and that's not my thing. No, I didn't like it.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
All right.
Are other people coming on too?
I'm going to put the chat back up here, y'all, so you can see it. I haven't seen anyone say that they wanted a link. If anybody else wants a link to come on and talk, just let me know. Yeah, I'm not a therapy lover. Y'all, me sharing my story and helping other people is my therapy.
Beck, have a good night at work.
Good night, Beck. And Donna, I've been to several of them. I don't like, listen, I don't even like to talk to people like my grandma that knows me inside and out, much less sitting in front of a stranger and having to talk to this person about my deepest, darkest secrets. No. I agree. Group therapy is better for me.
Oh my gosh, Care Bear. Prayers for you. Aww.
Yes, Care Bear. I'm so sorry. That's, there's many topics that I will talk on, and that's the streams I'm going to do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I think it all, ties in with addiction. In my life, it did. My mom was abused by my dad. I was abused. Not counting my drug addiction. Exactly, Nick. Blessed got to the point where I didn't know what was wrong with me, but I knew something was wrong.
Care Bear, I think talking about it would definitely help. I'm glad you're talking about it, and I hope other stories help you too. Be comfortable with talking about it. You're not judged, that's for sure. And
Mama 3, I kind of feel that way too. And y'all, I'm not here to judge anybody. Like I always say, I have one judge, and that's just, my person. That's just how I feel.
Exactly. Sexual abuse isn't part of my story. Mental abuse, like I grew up with a stepdad. Both my stepdad and my mom were alcoholics. My stepdad more than my mom, but they would always fight. And then I have a half brother, and of course, because he wasn't my father, I got the blame for all the stuff. A lot of mental abuse, like put down. Same with my real father. He was in and out of my life. Like I'd see him once every couple of years, and when I did see him, it was, just like I'm a piece of shit and blah blah blah. So I had a lot of like issues with my father. My mom finally got, sober, but my stepdad, he's still to this day is an alcoholic really bad. After I graduated high school, I started drinking every day. And then I got into a relationship with somebody that was, a drug addict, and it was an abusive relationship. And then, I started doing drugs with him and just let the abuse go on. It was kind of like a drug relationship. I stayed with him for the drugs and felt the abuse was my fault. But I feel my heart breaks for all you guys that went through that. Like, I am so overprotective of my kids because it just seems like it's, I don't know. Oh, makes me not cry. But so anyways, I was doing everything, every drug imaginable, drinking every night. When I got into this abusive relationship, already had my son. He was probably 4 or 5 months. That went on for about 6 years. My mom finally dragged me out of that relationship. got me into like a Suboxone program and living with her. And I was doing good. I got like my CNA license and, you know, I taking care of my son. And I broke my back in 2010 working as a CNA. And, you know, you get prescribed pain pills. And I knew once I got that first script, like in the back of my mind, it was like, this is a bad idea. But I took it and said I could do it. But my mom, like, I don't know. It was hard to be sober, but without my mom, I think. I don't know. It's hard to explain, like, the feelings I felt. I'd have to look at my son and be like, this is why I'm doing this. And, you know, still dealing with my dad. Everything I did was wrong. I didn't go to college, and I was a piece of shit for that. Just a bunch of stuff. So then when I got the narcotic script from the doctor, it was all downhill from that. But I'm sober now. It's been 14 months. Taking it one day at a time. I don't know. I'm glad that I found like you guys that, you know, have a story also, and you know, it might not be the same story, but you can definitely relate to like the feelings. And
well, that's what you know, none of us will have the same experience, but we have those same emotions through those experiences.
Right. Thanks, Crystal. You are too. So 2010 is when I broke my back. 2015 was, well, actually, like the end of 2014. I had surgery at the beginning of 2014. Towards the end of 2014, I was prescribed so much high doses of Oxycontin and oxycodone, and I was getting Xanax from my primary care doctor. So it was like the beginning of 2015 was just, I don't even remember half of it. And my boyfriend now, which is my oldest and my youngest kid's father, we ended up getting back together after like 10 years. And I have a middle child that's not his. But anyways, he's not an addict, and thank God that he was around when I got that bad, you know, for the kids or whatever. But the middle of 2015, CPS got involved, and you know, I kept saying I'm not doing nothing wrong, my kids are taken care of, and I felt like I wasn't hurting my kids. But you know, when you get sober and you look back, it's like, man, you know, emotionally neglecting them, and I don't know. So it hurts. But I'm glad the things that happened. While I was dealing with CPS, I was still trying to cheat the system and try to use and not get caught. I ended up selling one of my pills, 3 of my pills actually, to a friend that I've been friends with since middle school. We were really close. She was hanging out here all the time. She got into heroin really bad, and I would let her, you know, come here instead of be in her car because her boyfriend kept kicking her out of her house. So I would let her hang out here and, you know, let her do her thing. I'd rather her be here sleeping on my couch than in her car. Well, I made the mistake of selling a couple pills to her, and she wore a wire on me, and I caught a sale. So I spent 4 days in jail, and then I got my charges reduced to just a felony possession, and I'm doing drug court right now. I graduate next month. It was a year-long program where you have to go like to 4 meetings a week, and you have to go to court every Monday, and random drug tests. And I'm gonna complete it next month. I'm done, and I'm so glad. But once I get done with drug court, it'll only be a misdemeanor, so I'll only have a misdemeanor on my record instead of a felony. But if I would have just stopped when CPS got involved, that wouldn't have happened. But things happen, you know, and I've learned from my mistakes, and I'm glad the things happened as they did, because around here, heroin is just, that's what it is. And if it, I would have been right there. I would have been doing the heroin right with her, and but thank God stuff happened the way it did before I got into that. So yeah, I'm almost done with drug court, and I've been sober 14 months, and addiction is, it's hard.
Congratulations. I've been told drug court is a really tough, well, here is a tough program to complete.
It is, yeah.
Very intense.
Yeah, like you can't mess up at all. If you mess up, say you like relapse, they send you to jail for a week and you lose all your time. So say I was to fail a piss test tomorrow, I lose my whole year. I have to start all over, and I have to spend a week in jail. If it happens again, you have to go to rehab, you know, for however long. It's usually 28 days, but if you need longer, they do. But yeah, 4 meetings a week. You have to call every day, and if it's your color, you have to go in and give them a urine test. And then court every Monday. And I like NA though. I hated it at first. Oh my God, I did not want to be there. I felt like everybody was judging me and looking at me, but NA's helped me a lot. I love it, and I think I'll still continue it after drug court, because I've grown to love everybody that's, you know, in my group of people that I go with.
And I do want to say something real quick, y'all. You cannot worry about yesterday. You cannot worry about tomorrow. You have to focus on today. That's it. That's all you can worry about is today.
Exactly. Yep. Minute by minute. It's hard. It's definitely hard. I think about it all the time. Like, they tell you to change your people, places, and things, but I didn't go anywhere. I stayed in my house, in my basement, because when I smoked cigarettes, I smoked in the basement, so I didn't smoke around my kids, and that's where I hung out and did, you know, did my drugs and hung out with friends, and, you know, so I couldn't change my places. Like, this is my house. So every time I go down in the basement to do laundry, that's the only thing that goes into my head is, you know, what I used to do down there and wanting to do it again. And it's definitely hard. I am in a Suboxone program though, so that makes it easier, because I know I can't just go out and do anything, because it's not going to.
See, here they won't allow that. You cannot be in drug court and be on anything. Suboxone, nothing.
They're changing that now. If you're on Suboxone, you can't graduate. But because I was already in it and that wasn't like the rule yet, I'm allowed to graduate. They're weaning me down right now. I just started the weaning process, so I'm down to 3/4 instead of a whole strip. But I'll be allowed to graduate next month still. The program that I'm in, they like to take about a year to wean you down. Like, they do a quarter every couple months. So, but yeah, our drug court here just changed that to where you can't graduate if you're on anything.
I agree, Lulu. I'm with you.
That's what I need to know.
Yeah, there's all kinds of addictions, you know,
right.
Gambling addiction, porn addiction, sex addiction, food addiction, drug addiction. It's not just drugs when you say addiction. There's all kinds of addictions. Internet addiction.
Right. And I believe that addiction can be hereditary. I think alcoholism is more hereditary than I don't know though. I categorize all addiction as addiction, and I think it can be hereditary. Trauma usually is like a root of addiction, but like me, I haven't had like nothing terrible happen to me like that. So mine doesn't root from trauma. I mean, I had a lot of family issues.
I have an addictive personality. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Right. I've noticed it's not that I don't know it. I know I have addiction replacement. I do shopping, you know, exactly, shopping addiction. I replace my drug addiction for shopping.
Yeah.
But I own that. I know that. I'm aware of that.
Yep, I have an addiction personality too. I'm currently taking morphine and oxycodone each twice a day. Yeah, the pain management program I was in, they had me on oxycodone and oxycontin, and I was on 5 30-milligram oxycodones a day and 3 20-milligram oxycontin a day. And I had my surgery in January 2014. I had an artificial disc put in and 2 rods and like 4 screws or something like that. And they never weaned me off my medicine. They kept me at them high doses that whole time until 2015. They were like, okay, you're done, and just sent me out of the program. Like, they didn't wean me off. They didn't get me help, nothing. And that's how I ended up getting them off the streets and doing all that. And I was selling somebody else's pills to make pills for myself because I didn't work. I didn't have money to go buy drugs like that. And Greg definitely wasn't going to give me money for it. So that's how I fed my addiction, and that's how I got a sale. But yeah, pain management. I would never go back to a pain management. I couldn't believe they did that, and I didn't think that would be legal, but they did it. I didn't do anything to get kicked out of the program either. They just were like, all right, you've been here or you had your surgery a year ago, and well, I don't know, it was junk. So, yeah. But I feel so much better. Like, I don't ever want to go back. I'm scared to get off the Suboxone, to be honest. Like, when they said we're going to start weaning you down, and, you get nervous. Because I know that's my crutch right now.
There is a channel named Rockin' Roberta, and she detoxed off of Suboxone, and I think she's at 3 months being clean now. Nice. And she has a lot of like supplements and tips. Okay. You know what, Dave? That is true. That is very true.
What? I didn't see what you said.
Hey, Tamara. He said, might as well face it. I'm addicted to love.
Man, that is so unethical too. I know.
Care Bear, did you get the link, darling?
And it seems like since
High Liberty,
they're cracking down on the pain medicine, like prescribing it around here, they are only now giving, ERs can't give any narcotics, and the doctors can only prescribe you, I think it's a 2-week dose, and that's it. But it seems like ever since they've been cracking down hard on the pain pill epidemic, that's everybody's turning to heroin now. Because when I was in my addiction, it was pain pills. You could find them everywhere. They were getting prescribed left and right, and everybody had them. Towards the end of my addiction, they were nowhere, and everybody was doing heroin instead. It was cheaper, and if you could find a pill, it was $50 or something like that. So, and it sucks for the people that really need them, because like us addicts, I think, have ruined it for a lot of people that really need them. But I think there's also other ways to manage your pain. I'm in pain every day, but like there's other things like gabapentin helps. But I heard that's becoming a thing. I didn't even know you could get high off of it, but I just seen an article in the news now. Gabapentin's the new.
Mm-hmm. I don't like it. It was prescribed to me for my nerve pain, and it made me so mean in the mornings, and it made me feel like I was drunk. Does she, Tamara? That is so cool.
Yeah, that helps me the most, and it also helps with my anxiety. Because I'm not allowed to have Xanax, and no controlled substances. I'm not allowed. I'm red flagged at the pharmacies. But yeah, it helps me sleep at night. But I've never gotten like a high off of it, and I was shocked to read that article. Yeah. So that's scary because now if they start taking that away, since I've had my surgery, I've had a lot more issues now. Like I have nerve damage. I fall all the time. I have horrible tailbone pain. I've gained so much weight since I've been off work, like God, 80 pounds at least. And I think gabapentin makes you gain weight too, somebody said. Yes, Lulu. Yep.
Yes, Tamara. I agree. She's a trip. She makes me giggle.
Right, Nancy. Yeah, it helps for that a lot. I have crazy depression and anxiety, and gabapentin helps.
Pamela, hold on just a second. Pamela says, I have a question. What happens if you get hurt and need medication? I'm going to answer this for you. My biggest fear was getting back on pain pills. As I said, I had 4 surgeries for cancer, and I broke my ankle 2 days before the kids started school. There is a difference in using and abusing, okay? They did write me Percocets. I took them for like the first 3 days, and I flushed the rest of them.
Yeah, I don't think I
so
don't know.
Again, it's mind over matter. Now, had I felt vulnerable or weak, I would have gave them to my grandma to hold for me, to control. But I was able to do it on my own.
That's awesome.
And I'm telling you, the pain was so bad when I broke my ankle. I would get lightheaded and come down in a pure sweat, about to pass out in the shower because my pain was so bad.
Oh my gosh. That's a strong person right there. I don't know. I have no willpower. I am horrible with stuff like that. I don't think I could do it.
Yes,
even when they first gave me that script.
Now, even if if I would have thought, if I would have had the slightest that I was going to mess up, I would have had my grandma fill them for me and keep them and, give them to me as prescribed. So then I couldn't abuse them. Right. Just because you're an addict and you have to take a pain medication, that doesn't mean you're back in a active addiction. I don't agree with that. There is a difference between using and abusing.
Yeah, there's a couple people in NA with me that 2 of them, one of them had neck surgery and the other one had the gastric bypass.
If anyone, hold on real quick. If anyone has been like to a detox center, put 1 in the chat. If you did it on your own, put 2. All right, go ahead, Amanda.
I was just gonna say they got pain pills and stuff for their surgery, and it wasn't considered like a relapse. They did it the way they were supposed to, and got off of them when they were better. Me myself, I think I'm weak for that, and I have no willpower. I think I would have to turn them or give them to somebody to dispense to me.
Well, I will say this, y'all. Like I said, you have to worry about today. I am a very strong-minded person. I've never been a follower. I've always been a leader. Nobody's going to talk me into doing nothing. That's just how I've always been. That's just like, I've never actually been, to a detox, anywhere to detox. I did it on my own. There was something else I was going to say, though. There's a comment that made me think about that. And y'all, I didn't have a support system. I didn't.
You are strong. Wow. That's strong right there. Doing it on your own with no support.
Let me tell y'all something. With my children losing their daddy, with me losing my grandma, they have no one but me. And that is always playing in my head. Even with, y'all know the situation with that person that day. That is what kept me grounded and, me not flipping out was, who's going to put the kids to bed at night? Who's going to cook for them? Who's going to take them to school in the morning? That's just steady in my head thinking, they have no one but me.
Right. Hello.
You know what, Judge Jenny? Hey, Care Bear.
Hi. Hey, how are you?
I'm all right.
Good,
How are you?
Not too bad. Just taking it one day at a time, right?
That's
That's
all you
right.
can do.
Yep. Minute by
Yeah,
minute.
exactly. Yeah, sorry it took me so long. I couldn't
It's
remember
okay.
my password for my email. So
Lulu,
yeah,
I've heard that tramadol is highly addictive too. I didn't know that it was.
I've
A
never
friend of
had
mine,
tramadol.
yeah, a friend of mine just went to detox for that in rehab. I mean, I was like, tramadol? I didn't know that
Someone
that was a
tell me
thing.
how to just think about one day at a time. I get so overwhelmed thinking this will never be right. Laura, I started when I was driving home. Haley had to stay after school today. She had to be picked up at 6. So I'm driving home and I'm talking about this is due, this is due, this is due. I got to do this, I got to do this. And you said, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm not even going to talk about it. So I take my mind and I shift focus to something else.
Right. Yeah, I learned in NA, like, say you get a flat tire, um, and you get all pissed off, you had to go somewhere or whatever, you use, but you still have that flat tire. So, like, when you're sober, and you get a flat tire and you get all pissed off and you wish you could use, because you're pissed and whatever else, but after you use, you're still gonna have that flat tire. So you have to stay focused. You have to switch your brain to something else. Like I said, I have thoughts all the time, especially when I do laundry in my basement. That's when it's the worst. You start thinking about your kids or something else. But yeah, definitely have thoughts, flashbacks, for sure. And it's hard to do on your own. They say in NA that if you can do it on your own, then you're wrong, one strong bitch. That's for sure. They always say you need like a support system or, well, yeah. I would
Laura,
never
with
be able to do it
that,
on my own.
you know, it's not, I'm going to say, I'm not going to say it's going to get better. I always say you adapt. You will learn to adapt to it.
Right.
Stephanie, I agree. Opana, that is Oxycontin and morphine in one. That was my go-to if I wanted to nod, if I wanted to get high. I even went as far as, I don't even want to put that out there, of how I would break them down, because
Same here.
they were crush resistant.
I had a good friend that had cancer, and she got Opanas, and she got prescribed a lot of them. But she'd get like the plastic ones, but then she'd get the immediate release ones that were crushable, the 40 milligram ones. I used to do those and Xanax, and I would think that every time I did a line of Opana, like I sniffed my pills. I would think every time I had to do a line of Opana, I had to do a Xanax with it. So it would be mixed all the time. I remember the one time I crushed up a big pile of pills, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna clean my house. And yeah, it was like midnight. Everybody was in bed.
Yes, Stephanie, I'd say that it was the devil in a bottle. Is exactly what I used to say.
And I woke up at 6 a.m., drool all over the table downstairs. I just passed out at the table. And then another time, Greg found me down there, passed the fuck out in a pile of pills, and he scooped it up into like a medicine cup, the little medicine that you take your medicine out of, and it was up to like 3 teaspoons of powder. But I ended up like nodding out and not doing it. Thank God. I probably would have OD'd that night. But the old panas, man, those those would kick your ass. I'm lucky. Like I used to do mine late at night when nobody was awake, and just sit in the basement and do my thing. And I'm definitely lucky that I'm alive.
Care Bear, you still here?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
You have to jump in over Amanda. She
Yeah, it's a, From what I was talking to you guys about in the room, I'm 46 years old, and I found my real father about 10 years ago. And I said to my mom, I said, what happened, between you and my dad? So I got confirmation about what had happened, and he was a big hardcore druggie. And he would come home and everything, and he would have his fun. And he'd put me in the closet, and as he had me in the closet, he was beating my mom. So one day my mom got the courage, and she said, we're done. She picked me up, and I never seen my real dad again. It's gone. So as growing up, it was hard because I rebelled bad. Anything my parents would say, not to do, I would do it. And I partied a lot, every weekend that I could. So, yeah, it just kind of went from there, and finally my stepfather grabbed me by the collar, held me up, and said, "What do you want?" He goes, "We're done here. Your mom and I are done." 15 years old, I was gone. I lived out on the streets and panhandled for money. And I thought to myself, one day I was sitting there and thought, what am I going to do? I can't do this. So I called my uncle up, and I asked my uncle, and he says, well, if you can follow the rules, and picking tobacco, you know what? You'll get somewhere. I finished school, I went to college, and now I have a family of my own.
That's awesome.
And my thing is that anybody, you put your heart and mind to anything that you just got to sit down, and I know every day I deal with my mind racing. It races. It's just like a non-stop. You're thinking about this, you're thinking about that, and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's you learn from your mistakes. You learn from your history. You learn from the path. You got to think of the path, that you were going through before. And now it's like you have your own family, and myself having my grandchildren, and you just learn from everything. And that's my story. And being bipolar, it doesn't help. Being bipolar, yes, I'm on medication every day. But I'll tell you something. I've learned to take my medication on a regular basis, to talk to my husband, to communicate with my husband. My kids know when I'm having a bad day. So, yeah, I don't want to make anybody upset or cry.
I thank you for being brave and for speaking up.
It's really
I really
hard.
admire you for that.
I don't know none of you from Hills. But I'll tell you something, and I'm going to tell everybody in the YouTube community. When I went to you know whose channel, I was reaching out. I was reaching out just to talk. That's all. I come here. Sure, everybody's like backed off and everything because of the BS that's been done. But some of you have welcomed me into open arms. And bless, you gave me this. You opened me up. You can talk to my husband. I have two friends that I confide in and that know what I've went through and what I'm still going through. And for me to come on here and talk to how many strangers out there, it means a lot for me that you gave me this chance to tell me my story. And that's all I wanted from you know who. It's
Right.
not her. It's not her that deals on a daily basis, just her. And it goes on from there, but I'm not going to go on, you know. But I wanted to thank you for giving me this opportunity, for telling my story. I'm not a lurker. I'm not, you know, anything like that. Maybe I'm a lost soul. Maybe it's me reaching out to people that say, hey, you know what? How are you feeling today? It takes that little thing. And for you to have me on your panel means a whole bunch. And I want to thank you.
I want to thank you. I really appreciate that. Y'all, I always say you never know what a person is thinking or what they're going through or dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And you can say one thing that, you know, keeps them from going over that edge in that moment. They may feel like they have no one. And, you know, I always try to reach out. You know, if I don't see you on the chats, I try my best to reach out to you. Are you okay? You know, if you send me a DM, I try to respond to you. I try to, you know, speak to each one of you when you come in. And I don't want anyone to ever feel like, you know, I'm missing you or overlooking you or I don't care. That's not it. Mm-hmm. And I am very thankful for you coming on and being brave and telling your story. I really appreciate that.
Yes, Care Bear. A lot of us over here, you know, accept everybody with open arms for sure.
It's just sad. It's just sad that I guess in life you think about as you're getting older and you think about how precious it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very true.
And I think for myself, I thank God every day. I wake up and it's like I put my feet on the floor and make coffee. And, you know, it's just, I might have not have been in the hardcore drugs, but I've had my share. I've had my share, and it's morphine, you know, and it's hard. It's really hard. But this support, this is what we need in the YouTube community.
Absolutely.
Community. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what I was thinking? You know, even to have somebody, maybe 24 hours or who knows, like with myself, I don't work.
Okay.
You know, if somebody wants to reach out and says, hey, Care Bear, are you awake? I need to talk. I think sometimes, you know, a lot of people need to reach out and they don't know how.
Right.
I agree. I totally agree.
Me too.
And if anyone, you know, is in the chat or listening, don't ever hesitate or be scared or feel some type of way about reaching out to me. Like I said, I'm not one, y'all, I really don't talk much. I've always been very quiet. You know, like I said, isolated, withdrawn, because I don't like, you know, talking about my story or what I've been through or my problems. I like to help other people and bring them out of that. I've always thought that I could fix people. And that is what I did with my first husband. I spent 12 years trying to fix him and I gave up. And, you know, he's deceased now, and I carried that guilt around for a long time. And that's what threw me into my addiction my second time. And I will eventually, you know, go on with what I've been through.
Yes, I'm more of a listener, awesome. And I'm always here. I don't work either. I can't. So please reach out. There's no judging. We accept everybody. I do. Anyways. Bless, Care Bear. Thank you. And that's one thing I can thank that one person for finding all you guys. It's helped me out a lot.
There's always a reason. There's always a reason why somebody finds that person that you can talk to. And,
Right.
you know, we're all here. So what brought us all here tonight?
And that's one thing I've had to learn, y'all, is not to question. I don't know how many of you, are spiritual or whatnot, but, I have to tell myself that every day. You don't question what you've been through. And that's one thing I look back, on my life now. Had I not been through the things that I did, I wouldn't be the person I am today.
Right.
I found my purpose in life. That is why I went to school for what I did, to use what I went through to help others. And I feel like that's what, God has me here for.
Yeah.
And that's what, yeah, I do a little bit of the drama. But I also, like doing this. This is where my heart's at. That's why I'm very passionate about abuse, addiction, what have you. And y'all, your past does not define you. That is like one of my biggest sayings. You are not defined by your past. Anyone can overcome it and change it.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
agree 100%. Everybody deserves a second chance. Yeah, what you did at active addiction or none of that stuff defines who you are today. As long as you
No.
change the negative and
Take that negative and turn it into a positive. And that's what I try to do every day.
right.
Yep. Try something different. I've been really, really stressing on, starting to go to the gym and working out. And it's like,
Today was
do I
my
want to
first
be
day,
around
y'all.
all
It is
those
hard.
people? I know, I seen
It is
that.
hard.
And I'm like, oh.
But I promise you, that is another addiction, y'all. I remember I would get so mad and so furious if I missed a day of the gym. You become addicted to it. It becomes my routine. And then if I don't go, I feel lost.
Yeah, you're not sure what to do. But myself, it's, walking into that gym and seeing all the people working out. And it's like, oh, is anybody staring at me? Or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a paranoia for me, but it's like,
I have crazy social anxiety.
I'm not exactly skinny, but I'm not exactly, overweight. Right. But it's a fact of people staring and, watching me. Yeah.
Yeah, I have social anxiety really bad. That's why I like YouTube and doing these live streams and talking to people makes it so much easier because I don't get that anxiety I do. Like I don't share my story at NA. I've been doing this NA for a year and I still haven't talked, shared my story or like commented during the talks and stuff. It's just because I feel like everybody's judging me and looking at me and I don't like it. So
no,
this is easier.
And that's you.
You have to work on yourself and build that self-confidence.
Yeah.
Loving yourself, you know what I mean? And I tell myself every day, I have one judge. That's it.
Right.
One judge. The other, it's irrelevant. I don't care.
Yeah, but I have no self-esteem whatsoever. I was put down for so long, by my stepdad, by my real dad. I'm trying to work on it for sure. I never used to have social anxiety in my 20s and stuff, going out to the bar. I guess probably because I was drunk and high, it didn't bother me.
Yes, same
but now,
here.
Yeah, crazy anxiety. It sucks. But I'm thankful for YouTube because I can talk and, there's other people that I have a lot in common with, and it helps so much. Thank you, Bless. You're doing something great. For sure.
Yep. Thank you. And I couldn't do it without all of y'all. We are, Stephanie. I am I am my worst judge, to be honest.
Amen. Me too.
Any advice on getting an isolated alcoholic to get help when they don't think they need it and will just do it on their own, but always fall back in. That's hard, Tamara. That is a lesson I learned with my first husband. No matter how bad I wanted it for him, I could not do it for him. Even though, you know, I sent him to rehab like 4 or 5 different times. Until that person is ready, all you can do is support them.
And not support them, but not enable them. My mom was a big enabler for me. I just have to go and tell her that I ran out of gas or something like that. She'd give me money all the time, or my electric got shut off, she'd pay it. She'd be like, she would think that she's not paying for my drugs, she's just helping me, but she was, technically. So, yeah, you have to do tough love. If any of you guys have kids that are addicts or a loved one, Tamara, it's probably hard.
Go ahead, Amanda.
No.
The best time to catch them is if you can catch them sober, when they're in their right mind.
Mm-hmm.
I found that's the most, you know, the time that I could talk the most sense into them.
Right. Yep, enabling is it's hard not to do, because you feel bad, like maybe they're on the street homeless, but they have to get to that rock bottom to want help. You can't force them to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And addicts will manipulate. You're absolutely right, Stephanie. I manipulated my mom all the time. My mom was my biggest enabler. Hey, Miss DeLaRue. You know, I pray to God I don't have to deal with that with my kids. And I can just imagine how hard it is to be like, nope, you can't sleep here. You know, you gotta sleep on the streets. I can't do it anymore. That would be hard for me. So I get it, but that's the only thing that works is tough love. And you can't feel guilty if you lost someone to OD or something. You can't feel guilty for that. You know, I'm sure you did everything that you could, and you know, I have a lot of friends that OD'd, and you know, their sister, I'm really good friends with one of their sisters, and she just beats herself up every day because she feels like she didn't do enough, because she gave them tough love. But you can't force someone to get sober.
Yes, tough love is the best love. Y'all, I'll never forget showing up at my grandma's doorstep and her telling me that I could not lay my head there. She says the 2 kids can come in, but no, you can't. I thought my world was flipped upside down.
Right. Yep, you got to hit that rock bottom for sure. And everybody's rock bottom's different. Jail was mine.
That's true.
I don't know. And I had jail hanging over my head this whole year in drug court. I do not ever want to go lay my head in jail again. So that was definitely my rock bottom.
Lady, did you detox yourself on yourself? Y'all, alcohol is a little bit different than like a pill addiction, a drug addiction. With alcohol, you actually go into seizures.
Right.
It's very dangerous, you know, to do it by yourself. And I'm wondering, lady, did you do it on your own?
Miss DeLaRue, I was reading it, but then I went up.
Yes, Miss D, it is very hard. Y'all, it will drain the life out of you. Seriously. Yes, Stephanie, you can die.
Yep, you just have to
alcohol.
say.
You will not. There's very slim chance you're going to think you're going to die coming off of opiates, but you're not.
Right. I tried to get myself into a detox program at a hospital. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, everybody was like, go to this detox, and they take people. I went up there, and they were like, no, I didn't have any underlying medical conditions, and I was only on opiates. They were like, here, take this for nausea and take this for restless leg syndrome, and it was like Visceral, and then they gave me whatever for upset stomach and stuff like that, and go home and deal with it. It's just like a bad case of the flu. I sat there and cried and begged for like 2 hours. I said, I can't do it by myself. Like, please take me in. And they were like, we can't. No, you can do it on your own. You're not going to die. You'll be fine. I said, I have 3 kids at home. I can't have a bad case of the flu. I can't lay in my bed and die with withdrawals for this. I have kids to take care of, and they wouldn't take me. They absolutely not. So I don't know how people get into detox off pain medicine. Because they sure wouldn't take me.
We have many programs around here. Most of them are 14 to 28 days though. And me personally, I think you need at least a 6 months program because you have to learn to live all over again. Financial management, all of that. Only binge drinking Friday, Saturday. I did not binge drink every day. I quit on my own. Okay, so you didn't drink every single day. You only drank on the weekends.
Mm-hmm. I would drink any time of the day. I would drink
all night, sleep all day.
Oh, I would drink like, let's say it was, May 2-4 weekend, the long weekend. And we would like start drinking Friday morning and end Sunday. And, keep going.
That's how it was with my mom and my stepdad my whole life growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Being left with the babysitter while they went out to the bar and then come home drunk, fight. Alcohol's not. Ugh.
Mm-hmm. But now it's like I can't. Nope. I'll have a glass of white wine, at Thanksgiving or something.
Right.
But that's it. So.
Well, it's good that you can, control it. That you can just have one little glass of wine and.
Yeah, I guess you just see family members who were alcoholics. You know what I'm saying? And you learn from that. I don't know if anybody else has felt that, but.
Stephanie, some nights, I have extreme anxiety, and as soon as I lay down, my brain is like crazy. But gabapentin, like I said, that helps a lot for me to sleep. If I don't take it, no, and I don't sleep long. I sleep a couple hours, and I get up.
I did too, Tamara. I haven't drank a drop in like 6 years. I never, well, I'll say that. Tamara, she says in her 20s. In my 20s, yes, I was the party girl. It was a weekend thing.
Same.
But I'd never considered it an addiction because, it didn't run my life. I was in control of it.
Right. That was how it was every weekend. Well, as soon as I graduated high school, when I was like 18, I would say probably is when I started drinking every night. I didn't have to go to school anymore. I was free. I moved out of my mom's house. So that's when the partying started, and we drank all night, sleep all day.
Tight chain on me, y'all. When Liberty says, she was, or he, I don't know if it's a girl or boy, man or woman, but they were lucky enough to be brought up in a Christian home. I was too, and I had a very tight chain on me. And that's one thing I did a little different with my children. I was curious. And they say curiosity killed the cat. Well, I went out there and I wanted just to, check it all out.
Right.
Which I had already, experimented with marijuana and cocaine, with my mom. And then when I transitioned over, it's like my curfew was 9 o'clock during the week, even when I was 17, 18 years old. I had a very tight chain on me.
Yes, I'm sure once you were let free, you were let free. Right?
Yeah, so when I moved out after I graduated, I actually moved in with my same cousin that I was talking about earlier. Me and her got an apartment together next to Coastal Carolina, and I was living it up. I thought I was just free as a bird, but it got old really quick, really quick.
Right. Yeah, I didn't. After I partied all my 20s, even during my active addiction, pill addiction, I only drank every once in a while. It seemed like once you get older and you drink, it takes you a week to recover. I never liked drinking after that. I was happy with my pills, and I did cocaine here and there. That wasn't addiction though. But
Wow,
yeah,
Stephanie.
I've done a lot. I smoked crack for a while. When I was in my abusive relationship for 6 years, he was a crackhead when I got with him, and my intentions was to fix him and make him better. And yeah, he took me right down with him, and he was also physically abusive. But I've done it all, and I don't. Except for meth. Somebody was talking about meth earlier, and I said in the chat that's one
That's
thing I
what
didn't do.
heroin. I listened to the scanner, and heroin got really big because it was cheaper
Hmm.
than the pills. But now that is the new thing, is meth. Everyone is on meth around here, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's what I said in the chat. Like,
Kate,
two
that
houses
was
just
back in my drinking days. When I drank, that is when I wanted a line. But after I quit drinking, I didn't want anything to do with it.
right. Yeah, we just had two house fires here, and they both were meth labs. That's when I was in my active addiction, even last year. I never heard of meth, never heard of it around here. And right towards the end
Yes,
of my
Stephanie.
addiction, that's when everybody was going to heroin, and it was heroin overdose every day. And now it's meth.
Yeah, I've seen a few of you talking in the chat about an eating disorder, and I would like if one of you are comfortable with telling your story, I'm very interested in that.
Yes.
I've never known it's someone with that disorder, so I'm curious.
Me neither. That one girl that's on YouTube,
Eugenia.
Eugenia,
Yeah.
like I don't know, you guys know her?
Good night,
I've seen her.
Nancy.
Oh yeah.
Everybody says she's anorexic, and she swears that she's not, but it's sad. Like, I've never known anybody personally with that either.
See, George, I
So yeah,
feel
that
that
would be interesting.
marijuana should be legal before alcohol should. Me and my daughter were talking about that. They had to apparently debate on that in class today, and that's just my personal opinion.
I don't understand why alcohol is illegal. For like all the DWIs and all that, and you get violent and stuff. Yeah, I definitely think marijuana should be legal over alcohol. I agree. And alcohol's so accessible. So if you are an alcoholic, I think it'd be extremely hard to quit. It's everywhere. So,
Stephanie, that's true.
Stephanie, I agree. It's helped so many people.
And it's exactly.
Huh?
Yes,
Stephanie,
she does, Tamara.
my boyfriend's cousin had stage 4 lung cancer, and it got into his bones, and he's
What's
like
that
6
noise?
foot and probably 250 pounds, and we had a benefit for him, and he was there, and he was probably 80 pounds, and he looked poor. He was on oxygen and everything. He started smoking the CBD oil, I think it's called. It was some oil out of a vape, but it was
Yeah,
is it
CBD.
called CBD?
I'm curious about CBD too. If anyone has you tried it or knows anything about it, put a 1 in the chat.
His cancer went away. He was like stage 4. He's back to his like 250 pounds. It's not completely gone, but it went away a lot. Like now it's just he has some fluid in his lungs, and I think one little spot. But I couldn't believe it. I've seen it with my own eyes. It's crazy. That stuff should be illegal everywhere. Bone cancer
That's
is
the
rough.
thing. They don't want to do it because they're afraid. You know,
Right.
they're just, yeah. There's
Eating
so
is
much you can
good.
do with it. You know.
See, I think that too, Misty. She says her eating disorder was harder to get through than her opiate. Yeah, that's like an endless, you know, whether you eat too much or too less or whatever, you know, it's a lot easier to get your hands on, you know, with an opiate addiction, you've got to have money. It's a lot more costly, you know what I mean?
Right.
Tamara uses CBD. Yeah, Kate. I learned in nursing school that we did best meds for CA. See, Stephanie, that's what I told my daughter today. I think if marijuana would be legalized, I think there would be a lot less people on pills. That's just like, you know, my doctor prescribed me Xanax. But if I could take a hit or two of some KB, I wouldn't need that Xanax. I wouldn't even take it, which I don't take them now. But I've been talking to her, Kimberly. I've been talking to Lori about it, but she doesn't have her her website's not exactly up and ready yet. But I've been talking to her a little bit. But it's usually later, like when I'm starting to doze off is when she gets on and I'll go in there and say hey to her for a minute. With food,
Plus, you still have your other channel up?
Huh?
You still have your other channel up?
Uh-huh.
I can't find it. I was going to link it in the chat.
Well, I'm going to get going, guys.
I appreciate
Thank you so much, Care Bear.
I did follow you on Twitter. Feel free to reach out to me anytime, okay, darling?
Absolutely, you too.
Thank you so
much.
Everybody.
And prayers for you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Good night.
Same to you. Same to everybody. Good night.
Night.
All right, here is the link to my Twitter. I'm going to put in here. So if anyone has Twitter, you can reach out to me because I do want to talk to y'all about coming on. I want to schedule a time that works with everyone because I'm very interested in hearing that. Our shops here are so educated in the strains and everything. There's so many symptoms that help. See, Tamara, I would like one to help my pain and my anxiety because I do not take the Xanax anymore. But y'all, I get so anxious that it's actually, it like throws me into deep depression.
Have you tried Visceral?
Mm-mm.
That works really good. It's not a narcotic or anything. That's what I'm on. And it helps a lot.
See, the first like few times I tried marijuana, it made me paranoid, but it was like the more that, you know, I smoked it, that went away.
Yeah, I can't smoke marijuana. It makes me
That's what I've heard,
depressed and
Misty.
paranoid.
It makes me want to clean. It calms me down. My anxiety calms me down where I can focus and get stuff done.
Somebody said there's different like strains of it.
Yeah.
And if you try different kinds, that some make you hyper, some so yeah. The only kind I've ever had always makes me like real paranoid and real hard on myself.
Now I don't like smoking. You know, there's different strains of marijuana too. I don't like smoking the regular. When I did smoke it, I would smoke KB. But y'all, it's been, oh my gosh, years and years since I've smoked marijuana. It probably put me to sleep now. That's how it used to do me when I first started smoking it. Or if I didn't smoke it like regularly.
I can never say that word either. I can't smoke weed, so I don't like the THC head high CBD as much. That's why I think like CBD should be legal everywhere. Medical marijuana. From
my understanding,
I don't understand
correct me
why
if I'm wrong, Tamara, but CBD is like marijuana, but it doesn't. You don't get the high off of it, and it doesn't have the THC in it.
Right.
Correct.
You're right.
And I mean, that's just like with marijuana, there's different strains. you know, for different things.
It helps with seizures and everything. Like Makeup by Mandy, I believe does the CBD oil, and she doesn't have, like, she's epileptic, but she hasn't had seizures since she started it. People that have epilepsy that smoke weed and don't have seizures. That's why I think it should be legal, especially for the little kids. I seen a story on the news with, like, I think it was like an 8-year-old. They had like over 200 seizures a day, and they started with the CBD oil. They had to move to a different state that it was legal in, and the kid is, you know, can be active now and go to school.
Pink, I always wondered why they made mukbang channels and videos, and that's what I was told it was for, so people didn't have to eat by themselves. They could, you know, be like eating with someone when you watch the video.
Anybody that has like
CBDdistillery.com, but you have to contact your bank before ordering and tell them you're about to make a purchase.
Anybody with like an eating disorder, like anorexic, would marijuana help, you know, make you want to eat, or is it still the anorexic take over that part? I have epilepsy. Only certain types of seizures can be controlled with it. Oh, really, Froggy? I didn't know that.
She gave him CBD and the tumors disappeared. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Yeah, they do, Tamara. Because then, you know, a lot of people, you know, quit. And that's what I say. I told my daughter today, you know, there wouldn't be as many pills being popped if they would legalize it.
Miss De La Rue, that's awesome. That's what happened with Greg's cousin. Like, he was, you know, like almost on his deathbed. And he's...
I'm not sure, Donna, what the difference are. I know they make like soaps and all kinds of stuff. When inpatient, we had exposure therapy where we go out to eat, and no joke, it was like a scene from Girl Interrupted. You know what, Stephanie? I've watched a couple of documentaries on it, and I watched y'all, what was that thing on Netflix where the girl goes to the home for her eating disorder, and she ends up liking the boy there. Oh my gosh, what is the name of it? It's not too old. Just a couple of months ago it came out.
Yeah, Lady Raiden, that's what I would think. And then, like, whenever people smoke weed, you get the munchies and want to eat. That's why I was wondering if that would help that part. And Tamara, I'm going to have to find Rockin' Roberta. That's who
I put her link in the chat earlier. Matter of fact, I still have it pulled up. It's right here.
Yep, Liberty. Yeah, that's all they care about, money. Money, money, money. That's sad. When I was in mental health, that's all, they just kept pushing all this medicine on me, and I didn't want it. Is that Rockin' Roberta? Bless that you just linked?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool, thank you. Yeah, I'm really nervous. Is there anybody in here that weaned off Suboxone and is now... Oh, wow, she's pretty.
See, edibles. I think if the government could figure out how to make money, if they could figure out how to tax it to make money off of it, I think that, you know, more places will legalize it. How many, hey, Lori, do you have time to come on for just a second to talk about CBD? I'm curious. Is Nick back in here? What was I just saying? Oh, how many states is marijuana legal in? All right, I'm going to send it to you on Twitter, Lori.
Yeah, I know Mandy, not Makeup by Mandy, but the other one, she got off Suboxone, but then she ended up having to get back on it. is there anyone in here that like weaned off of
Roberta's
it?
been
And
off of it, what, Tamara, 3 months now? Let's see, might be a little bit longer than that.
mine a lot is the physical addiction of it. Like when I wake up in the morning, I got to take something, and it's been like that for years. So that's what I'm worried about. Waking up and not being able to put something in my mouth. If that makes any sense. New Mexico and Colorado. I know California, Florida, PA. I think New York too. I think they just got. Yeah, New York is. Oh wait, not just medical marijuana in New York. Not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, it just says here, I want to consider it. Here in New Mexico and Colorado, Florida.
Stephanie, is that is that Suboxone?
Good night, Judge Jenny.
I've heard a lot about Kratom. I'm wondering if that, once I get off Suboxone, if that would help me. Everybody keeps talking about Kratom.
Could be, Kate. I heard somebody say the other day about ODing off of Kratom. I was like, really?
Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, does anyone know anything about Kratom? Yeah, that's what I was asking. It's illegal there? Wow.
Yeah, there's some places here. It's not here.
Bee's on Kratom too, right? That helps her with like
No,
things?
she's familiar with it.
Oh, okay.
Marla's still on Suboxone.
Not Kratom.
Yeah, but you were asking about Suboxone before that.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, Marla. Yeah, she's on Suboxone and gabapentin, just like I am. But I was wondering, somebody was asking stuff about Kratom, and I was wondering if Bee knew. I thought it helped her with other things.
Yes, you do, Pink. You've got to find that.
I'm gonna, Tamara. Yeah, thank you.
Subutex is it the same thing?
It just does. Yeah, it doesn't have the naloxone in it. I believe it's just like the
same thing.
The opiate part of it.
Tamara says, watch Rock and Roberta's videos on Kratom. I've tried Kratom and saw mixed stuff about it. I've read it. Can be addicting as well. I read that too, Jess. Codependency, yes. Girl's Journey. Life Force K. There's a website.
Kelly, I'm sure they're around. I don't know.
Okay, Lori. I don't even know what these drugs are. I've never heard of them. Must have them here. They're legal. They're not drugs, Kelly. It's very new. Kratom and CBD have not been around long at all.
Oh, I thought she was talking about like the other stuff.
I have too, Marie, about Kratom, good and bad, but I don't know enough about it to speak on it.
Yeah,
she's not right. Tamara, but you know what? I just texted her a few minutes ago asking her. I actually asked her your question, and this is the answer she gave me. I said, when an alcoholic isolates and shuts you out completely, do they shut off caring for you, or are there moments they still care? She says, generally, it's complete. Because if you watched her thing was alcohol. And then later on, it was narcotics. Mrs. ATX, she does recovery vlogs. She says, generally it's complete. There may be moments of guilt and remorse that mimic caring. Genuine care is long gone in complete isolation.
Pink Diamond, no. Kratom, you're mixing it up with that crocodile stuff. Kratom's totally different. I believe it's called crocodile. They eat you from the inside out. Kratom's like, you can get it like a tea form, or you can get it in capsules.
29 states and the District of Columbia have marijuana legalized in some form, medical or recreational, if I'm understanding what I just read. See, and even if it was medical, I guarantee we will be the last state
There you go, Marie. Crocodile.
to get it legalized. Yes, ma'am, it's illegal in Alabama, but not Mississippi. Hey, guys. Hey, Care Bear. Kratom is a natural plant. Really? Then how do you overdose from it? Kratom, Subutex, Suboxone, they all have side effects, and I think are pretty rough to get off of.
Care Bear, I subscribe to your channel, and I'll follow you on Twitter also.
So it's a natural plant from Indonesia.
Right. And you can get it in capsules, or you can get it just like a bag of, it looks like tea out of the bag. I've never taken it, and I didn't know if it could help with, like, once you get off Suboxone and stuff. I've heard a lot about it lately.
No problem, Tamara.
Is her name Care Bear on here? Oh, there, I found her. Never mind.
Good night, Care Bear. I'm getting ready to sub to your channel. Yeah, Nick, I heard a lot of bad stuff about that synthetic marijuana. What's it called?
Spice.
Spice. Yeah.
Wow, Nick, that stuff's scary.
I heard like the high off of it is nothing like marijuana.
Right. I've seen a video on YouTube. It was crazy.
Matter of fact, when my husband was in transfer in Atlanta, the day he got there, somebody had died from that spice stuff. Yeah, shut my body down and went into convulsions. There's been a lot of deaths in there from that crap.
That's awesome, Angel.
And it's illegal everywhere now. Or at least I know here. I think most, if I'm not mistaken, when I was looking at it and researching it, it's illegal everywhere now.
What?
I think you would have to know like a connection to get it. The spice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's illegal here.
I need to rinse the restroom real quick. If you can watch the chat, Amanda, please.
Okay. Angel, what do you take the CBD oil for?
Our headphones.
Yes, Miss Taylor, that spice stuff is scary. It's just like you go into like a different world, and I've seen a lot of people on it. It's illegal here. Yeah, you used to be able to get it like at the reservation, the smoke shop and stuff, or like the head shops. Not anymore. The only place to buy it is New Orleans. Was under the bridge in a sketchy gas station. Wow. Thank God you're okay. I have lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and oh, that's awesome. I think CBD oil should be legal everywhere. It helps so many people, and it's not like you get all high and stuff off of it and, you know, go drive a car. Even marijuana, like recreational marijuana, I think should be legal. K2, yeah, that's the other name for it. Really, Kimberly? Damn. What'd you say, Tamara? What's sick is Big Pharma would be happy to produce spice, but you're right. Yep, exactly right. Okay, thanks, Pam. Have a good night. Exactly, Nick. That's what we were just talking about. I think marijuana should be legal over alcohol any day. Yeah, Lady Raiden, you should, yeah. It helps when you speak out, and People are there to support you, and yeah, they would rather you tell and talk about it. Right, Miss De La Rue, I agree. Yeah, true, Nick. Yeah. But it's definitely a lot better than alcohol. Bye, Jess. Oh, you were saying bye to, sorry, Pam. And then Pam was saying bye to you. Okay. Does anyone vape CBD? My doctor recommended that over putting it under tongue. That's what my boyfriend's cousin did. He was vaping the oil. And his cancer like disappeared. And he had stage 4. He was in rough shape. I couldn't believe it. He's still dealing with stuff now. Like, he gets fluid on his lungs, and I believe he has a little spot of cancer still on his lungs or something like that. But I just couldn't believe what it did. Go to Beer Fest. Fights everywhere. We go to help Fest every year. Yeah, yeah. When you drink alcohol, you get violent or you black out and you don't know what you do. Go drive a car and crash. Alcohol is dangerous, and I don't know. I don't get it. I heard that they were up in the age of drinking. I can't remember to what age. 25 or something like that.
All right, love y'all.
In New York, anyway, that's what I heard. Exactly, Ashley. Yep.
Let's see.
Yep, Angel. That's why. That's why they're having a tough time legalizing it. It's all about the money.
What is Jennifer vaping? I agree, Ashley.
Exactly, Nick. I don't understand why it's hard to come up with a way. Like, why?
Yeah. There's money to be made there.
But why is it so hard for them to come up with a way to tax it? Like, why is that not easy?
Yes, Liberty.
Exactly.
My daddy was a mean drunk.
Jennifer, I wish you luck on that. I hope it helps. Yeah, Tamara, if they can do it some places, why can't they do it in all?
Nick, same. I'm with you, for real.
Same.
Hey, I don't knock the hustle. I don't knock nobody's hustle. Yeah.
Absolutely. Weed train.
I'm in Canada, legalized next year. Wow. Thank you, Bless, for this chat and letting me share about my story. I can tell you more about it on Facebook. Yes, Pink. I put my link in here. Just send me a message, darling. I look forward to it. Thank you for being here, and good night.
Yes, good night, Pink Diamond. Thank you.
I can see that, Liberty.
Yep.
Oh, well, now I know which competition to burn down first. Yeah.
Hello.
Angel.
Hey, Lori.
Sorry it took me so long to get here. Hello. Who am I talking to? Amanda.
Yep.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Lori.
And Miss D, that's fine. I get that. I know they only allow you to grow like so much. Is it by acres? Something like that. But Nick, I'm with you on that one. For real, for real.
Right.
So I'm trying to
My
catch
boyfriend
up.
be all.
Have the perk going on.
My boyfriend
My
loves stuff
cousin
like
has a
that.
grow farm here. He was amazing. Yeah. Yes, Tamara. When I tell you there's money in it, there's money in it. But yeah, like I said, I'm not taking no charge. Now, if they legalize it, that's a whole different ball game.
Absolutely.
Well, hopefully it'll be legalized within the next couple of years all across and on the federal level.
I'm hoping so. I really do. I think.
But when it's legalized, is it legal to grow it and do it? So because they wouldn't be able to tax it.
We're right here. Hey, Kate. We're here in Nevada. We're completely legal, both on the for recreational and for medicinal. In general, the marijuana industry is hoping that at least we'll get 50 states within the next year or two, all 50 states on the medical. Unfortunately, they haven't done laws across the board because every state is different, and every state has a different amount you're allowed to grow. I mean, for a while we were legal for medical use. You were not allowed to possess seeds. Well, how do you get plants without seeds? How do you grow? So then they introduced the dispensaries, which helped. You know, really in the states that it's legal, like Colorado, in I believe in California, they're recreational now. Up in Oregon, we're recreational. It's getting there. And now that hemp is, a couple of weeks ago, well, maybe a month ago, hemp was made legal on the federal level across every state. So now everybody can get CBD without having to worry about anything. And the CBD that's grown from the marijuana from the hemp plant, which is a strain, it's like a species of the marijuana plant, or the cannabis plant. Yeah, you kind of think of it as like like marijuana is the goofy sister, like the goofy middle sister, where hemp is the older, more serious sister. All in the cannabis family.
Right.
So at least we could say that CBD is now legal. Anybody that needs medicinal is going to be able to get it.
That's good.
You don't need the THC if you've got the seizures, for inflammation, heart disease, gastric. You do need a little bit of THC for anxiety. I mean, you could try CBD for, pure CBD for anxiety, but most people need some sort of THC to help it along.
The THC gave me anxiety.
You probably had the wrong one.
Yeah,
there's two different strains, and I always forget. One's the sativa, and one is, my daughter knows these two. I don't smoke pot, so there's one that will pep you up and give you anxiety, and there's one that will mellow you out and help you sleep. So you have to know which one you're smoking. I know there's a rhyme about
indica, somebody said.
Yeah, indica is like in the couch. So that's how you remember that. If you smoke indica, you're gonna stay in the couch.
That's funny.
Yeah, I got another care package for you, Nick.
I need some. I need to. I want to try it, but I don't know nothing about it. I want something for pain and anxiety.
Same here. Same here.
Well, I will have more samples and all of that. I've got to get the website up and running before my boss kills me. He'll sell it now, but I have to give out his phone number. We're like 10 minutes of work away from getting the website up, where everyone will just be able to get it. And because you know me, I can get you a discount. I told my boss, if I'm going around my friends and I'm plugging this for my friend, because I'm not in sales. I'm just on the web design part.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, is $100 a good price for the 1,000 milligrams? Yeah, pretty much it is, Angel, but it's a very good price. Be very careful with what costs $100 for 1,000 milligrams.
See, that's the thing. I don't know enough about it. I'm leery
Right.
about ordering it. You know what I mean?
Does it
Yeah,
help with
because a
depression
lot of-
too, or just anxiety?
Yes. No, anxiety, depression.
There's all different kinds.
Oh my gosh, I need to try it. I've always like not thought about it and stayed away from it because when I smoked
Hey,
like
Ashley.
just regular marijuana, it gave me crazy
Nothing. It's
anxiety.
nothing like marijuana.
Right.
It you know, it helps fight cancer, relieves nausea.
Right.
That's like one of the best ones. Treats seizures. It has been proven that you give it to patients that have brain tumors, and they do for something. They don't know the exact reason why, the specifics of brain tumors, but it has been known to shrink brain tumors.
That's awesome.
It promotes cardiovascular health. I can't even begin to tell you. The full strain CBD is great. We have like shots that we have. They're like, you know, like energy drink shots, and they're great right before bed. They're good for relieving anxiety during the day, so you feel good. And just like an energy shot, you drink it like an energy shot.
That's crazy.
A lot of people, if you don't want the CBD like going through your vascular system, you can use the creams. So if you have aches and pains, I think I have it out to like 19 people were in my first group of people that I've given it to on YouTube amongst my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all coming back with, well, this works great and this works great. And that's exactly what I wanted to hear, because some people react differently to different modes. Some do really well with the sublingual. Some do really good with the roll-on, with the salves.
She said she had a gel she kept in her refrigerator. Tamara
I never knew it was like crazy like that.
Yeah, oh, they give them. You can have it and get it in pill form. We're not doing the pills right now, but we will be. Just anything, and our stuff is tested. I would take this heroin with fentanyl. Well, that's kind of deadly. That's a recipe for death.
That's how they're overdosing and dying.
I heard that it's just straight up fentanyl now. They're just selling fentanyl.
Nick says I double up my drugs.
Fentanyl.
And you know, that's the thing. You know, I have a very high tolerance. I do. And that's why I'm wondering, you know, would it even do anything, because I do have such a high tolerance.
We've had patients that have been on fentanyl, and they use the patch, and they'll like have extra pain, and they'll sit on a heating pad. And do you know heat and a fentanyl patch can kill you? It can cause an overdose. It's like one of, yeah.
See, I've never done fentanyl. Even when they had to put me to sleep for my surgery for cancer, they said they couldn't believe the amount of anesthesia it took to knock me out. They're like, you have a very high tolerance. I was like, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, Nick. But, I mean, if you're saying it works and you double it, that's probably what I'd have to do. I'd have a high tolerance with everything.
Yeah, but CBD doesn't work in your pain sensors. They're not, your pain receptors are not being filled by the CBD. What CBD is working on a whole different...
alcohol or anything like that.
Yeah,
marijuana, I could outsmoke them all.
Oh, can you?
Anything. Double delicious. No, I'm curious. I want to try it.
Yeah. Well, it's not anything that's going to give you a medication feel. I
don't like getting the head high anymore. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, you won't get that from CBD, because CBD from hemp only contains less than 0.3% THC.
Yes, actually. Yeah, depression, seizures, anxiety, pain, all different things. How long has CBD been around now, Lori?
CBD has been around for a long time, whether
Well,
it's been
did they
legal
know?
or not. I would say at least 20 years, at least. Hemp, we've known about the benefits of hemp products going back 100 years or more. Our country was actually founded on hemp. And then throughout the years, given the history, it became illegal. Tobacco came in. They were able to, people smoked now, back in the day, and I'm talking the way day, we didn't have to, we can grow the tobacco without having to rely on taxes from, England. So that's how like hemp got bumped. And when they we've always known the benefits of hemp. And not only is it the same hemp can be used to make clothing, but I mean, it's sustainable.
My
There is
snooks are
the earth.
hemp snooks.
Yeah, and it only has a small amount of THC, and I'm talking about like 0.3%, and that doesn't even register on a drug test or anything. It's what they allow us to say is 0 THC because there's no effect on the body.
What are the age requirements?
18 and older, but I think that's BS. I have to say 18 and older. They're giving hemp. They're giving CBD to children with no effect on the body.
There's one in the chat that says my son is 8 and has seizures. Whatever age. Ooh, I'm echoing.
18 and older. Yeah, but I think that's BS. I have to say 18 and older.
Sorry, guys, my phone died, but I'm back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we say 18 and older, but the people who originally became the most benefit to the CBD were the children who had severe seizures, and they've taken kids who have had 100 or more seizures a day down to almost nothing.
Right? Wow. Yeah, that's a story I heard.
My daughter is on it for seizures. I wouldn't even let my daughter go off of it. She's weaning off her medication now because she had the seizure surgery.
Actually, Lori is the one that is designing the website. So once she gets it up, then we can order it.
Yeah, we'll do all of this. We just, I'm just kind of talking about it, and I wouldn't have even gone like to this level of talking about it in any of the communities. But I happen to have had the samples. I probably gave them out a little bit early because we're changing the packaging. So I had
I'm excited. I'll definitely try it.
Which I know, Stay Negative, he had a person that he was sponsoring him, but they've had issues with shipping and stuff, so they're not even. And that's my thing. I don't want to just order it from anybody because I don't know anything about it. I don't know enough about it to do that.
Should we give the mouse the cheese for a giveaway, Nick? Maybe if I'd send it out.
I can't believe all the stuff that it helps. Like, no wonder they don't want to legalize it. Put Big Pharma right out of business. I didn't realize it helped with all that stuff.
So many. And could you imagine our country is stopping people from smoking a natural product and pushing narcotics on them?
Yeah, I think that's crazy.
Right. It's insane. It's all about the money.
But, I think, back in the day, they would never talk about that in school. Haley come home talking about that. They had a debate over in class today. So I thought that was interesting. And that's how me and her, she was like, Mama, well, how do you feel about it? And I told her, I was like, I don't think, people would be popping as many pills if they would legalize it.
Right.
Yeah. I think Texas is going to be the last of the states.
And I think that marijuana should have been legalized before alcohol. I can get in a vehicle and drive. I'm not going to kill somebody.
Right.
It's not going to inhibit me where I can't drive. You know what I mean? I might be moving slow. I might go a little bit under the speed limit, but That's about it.
Right. I don't get it. I don't.
I will have you know, Lori, I sent out my other giveaway and bought stamps for Christmas cards. Yeah, I'm getting ready to do Christmas cards too. I got to get P.O. boxes. You will just drive slower, right,
My
Stephanie?
address has been doxed so many times.
I think
That
mine was
I wouldn't
last
even
night.
need a P.O. box anymore. Just
Yeah, I don't have a P.O. box either.
Yeah, Tamara, I agree. I mean, if it's worth it, I don't mind paying for it. I mean, that's just like marijuana. If I'm going to smoke marijuana, the real deal, I'm going to smoke KB. I'm not going to smoke the regs. I'm not doing it.
Tamara, I feel I know what you're saying. It was very hard. It was pretty hard here for my daughter, even who my daughter has a brain tumor and a history of seizures. We had to jump through hoops to get the card. Now anybody, I mean, the laws are wonderful here. But
where are you at?
I'm in Nevada.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I know that story that I heard about. They had to like up and leave their state just to get their kid
yes.
The CBD oil, so he'd stop having so many seizures. Like,
yeah, I used to do the website for a organization that actually specifically helped parents of kids move to Colorado, and set up, like, you have a sick kid, and this is how sad it was. You had like an income, a severely sick kid, and all your support where you live, and the one thing that you can use, the one thing that will help your child is the one thing they will not allow you to have. And people have had to actually get up, leave their jobs, leave their homes, leave their families, and move.
That's ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah, it's sad that
It's
they
sad.
make them do that.
People who have had to risk going to jail because they give their children the CBD to help them with seizures, and they can't tell their doctors that they're doing it.
Sweetie, I don't think the CBD oil would probably make you like a zombie.
No, CBD would not. Well, it depends on the CBD of where you're getting. You use the hemp CBD. CBD oil can be made from the marijuana plant also. It's going to be higher in THC. Some people prefer, that's, a higher marijuana strain. You have to think of it as two different plants. Even though some people say they're so similar in species that there is no difference, but really in the scientific world there is. Hemp CBD, you don't get high. Marijuana CBD will have more THC, and that's not legal everywhere. In fact, you have to get that in a dispensary. But from the other plant, the hemp plant, it is, and you're still getting the same CBD. It's the same exact CBD. But the other one is even way more expensive. I mean, you got to remember, you're going to expect to pay. I mean, if you're going to try to budget for CBD in your health regimen, you're going to look at anywhere between $100 and $160 per month. But you also may find that you're going down on your medications. Right. You might be, you're going down on your medications, you're feeling good. Oh, if I had fibro, I would absolutely be on this. Fibro, with its inflammation, the number one thing that it helps is inflammation. So any of the arthritis, fibromyalgia, anything that's causing inflammation in the body, it's going to bring down. You bring down inflammation, you automatically bring down your pain.
I much prefer the CBD sublingual.
That's crazy. And that's amazing that it does all that stuff. That's amazing.
Oil capsules over the straight super concentrate oil.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like the sublingual. I use the sublingual. I take it for, I have frozen shoulders, and I take it for that. It helps keep my shoulders from locking up.
Ashley, some people they have to follow you back in order for you to be able to DM them. I think.
Yeah, Angel, it's a lot harder now you'll get pain meds before you'll get anxiety meds now.
Wow, Angel.
Well,
yeah, they say
anxiety.
pain meds
And
and Xanax don't go good together. Sorry.
you have no idea how hard it is to get off of a barbiturate.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is harder than narcotics. It is like
I went
the
through it.
number one thing trying to get off. People that are prescribed all these anti-anxiety medications, you got to know what family of medication that you're getting subscribed to, because it's literally almost impossible to get off of them completely. So I mean, it's really I would smoke pot first before ever going on an anti-anxiety medication.
I literally thought I was losing my mind coming off of Xanax.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was on an emotional roller coaster for like 3 months.
Yep.
I mean, with pain medication, 7 days and the sickness is gone. I mean, I'm up moving.
Right.
Xanax, no ma'am. No ma'am. Donna, do you know much
about hard to come off of for sure.
Exactly.
Sertraline?
Yeah, that's
Miss LaRue. That's why I was scared, because a lot of people say you can have seizures off benzos.
Yes, you can, and that's what my daughter is. I was smart enough to not allow my daughter to go on a benzo seizure medication, which they very often prescribe. I would never. I mean, the doctors used to argue with me all the time, because when they would be changing her meds or something, I would like put my foot down and say, nope, not from the benzos. You're not going to hook my kid on a lifetime of addiction. And I'm so glad, because now she's getting off her medication. She's completely weaning off, because she had the surgery to stop it. And yeah.
Wow, Angel.
It's absolutely, it causes seizures to come off Xanax. You have to go very, very, very slowly.
Right, Tamara, because it slows down your respiratory system, and then mixing it with opiates. That's why a lot of doctors are stopping giving both pain meds and Xanax. See, I was getting the pain meds from pain management, and then I was getting the Xanax from my primary care doctor.
Tamara, that is what my first husband overdosed off of. He was on Xanax and methadone, and it caused him to have a heart attack.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're probably better off on Suboxone and to wean off Suboxone than you are going on methadone. Methadone is like for life.
A lot of people say if you're on Suboxone, you're not clean, and they're really harsh on you.
You're not really clean if you're on methadone either.
They make you feel like shit. See, I think Suboxone's better than methadone.
Well, it is, because you're supposed to wean off the Suboxone. People stay on it way, way, way too long.
Right.
That's supposed to just wean you down off of, the heavier narcotics.
Yeah, they have me on a year program. Like, I've been on 1 strip a day for a year, and I just started weaning down, and then they do the weaning down process for a year. They don't let you be on it for years and years.
Okay, Kelly. I didn't know what that was.
My mom was asleep. Yeah. Sleep apnea takes the place of another.
Ms. De
LaRue.
Yeah, that is sleep apnea. With that is, you're asking for trouble. She should be on a machine at night if she's got that, a BiPAP.
My cousin died on a 2nd dose. Oh, wow. Yeah, methadone, like Suboxone has that blocker in it, so you don't want to go out and get high. People on methadone, they go to the methadone clinic, they take their pill, and then they go out and still use.
Yeah.
And methadone's so strong, and it's so hard to come off of, I heard. Or Suboxone, I guess, is hard to come off too, but I just feel Suboxone's better than methadone.
Well, it's because you can't get high. using it.
Right.
Well, you can, but you're not going to be
You
feeling
can
that
on
great.
methadone, but I don't on
No, you
Suboxone.
can't. No, you can't on Suboxone. It's not going to allow you to have the feeling.
Right. Where I've taken methadone in my active addiction just to get high.
How do you get that?
What?
Like, you get methadone to get high? Like, is it sold on the street? I don't know these.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See, all these.
That's what a lot of
drugs-
methadone clinics, they don't give you a prescription. You have to go to the clinic every morning and take your pill.
Well,
But around here, you can get a prescription for it, and then they sell them. I did a 40. Yeah, exactly, Stephanie. That's why I think
They don't
Suboxone.
give,
That's what
pills
stops me
here.
from using.
They give you liquid, and you have to drink it in front of them at the methadone clinic.
Right.
what started? Because I mean, not. You don't have to answer me, but like, what started you on the opiates? Was it pain or was it
Me?
Yeah, or life? Yeah.
Life. I talked about it tonight. Dealing with life. I didn't have to deal with it.
But did you have like a prescription at first, or you were just hanging out with people that did them? Like, how did you know about them?
My first husband's stepfather was a big pill dealer. I didn't even know, which I didn't go into that tonight. I will later. I didn't even know people took pills.
Yeah, where do they get where do they even get the pills? That they can't possibly
They buy prescriptions off of people.
Yeah. That's how I caught my sale. Like, after I got cut off at pain management, I went to the streets and I was using, and then I found somebody that got a prescription, and he didn't do them. He just got them, and that's how he made his money. So I would sell for him and make my pills by doing that. I wouldn't make money. I'd make pills instead, and that's how I supported my addiction at the end of it, and caught my sale and went to jail.
Oh yes, definitely. They don't even prescribe them here anymore.
Jail and then stopped, or
what, Lori?
Like, what made you stop? Like, what was the turning point of stopping?
Well, when I was in that 6-year relationship, that abusive relationship, I was doing all kinds of drugs. I was partying, hanging out, drinking, coke, pills. That's how I got into pills. And then my mom dragged me out of that relationship, and I got sober. My mom helped me get sober, and I was doing good for a few years. I became a CNA, and I was working at a nursing home. And 6 years into that, I broke my back at work. And I got pain pills, and it started all over again. I should have never took that script from that doctor. I knew it. I knew it in the back of my head. And I was like, no, I can do it. I'll take them as prescribed. But 6 months into it, I was like, started sniffing them and abusing them, and then telling pain management, oh, I need a higher dose. I need this. And they would just give me whatever I wanted. And towards the end of it, they just cut me off. They didn't help me get off. They didn't wean me down. They didn't get me help. They were just like, you're done.
That's very dangerous. That's very dangerous.
Right. I tried to put myself in detox. Detox wouldn't take me because they're like, you can't die from it, so just go home with these prescriptions and deal with the bad case of flu. And I begged and begged for 2 hours at least, and they, nope, sent me home. And I still continued using, and that's when like CPS got involved, and then I caught my sale like a year after that.
What is
and then I went to jail for 4 days, and I got put on drug court. That's what made me stop.
What's caught my sale mean?
What's that?
Like, you went to jail for it?
Yeah, I caught a sale. Somebody wore a wire on me. So I got a felony possession and a felony sale. And they picked me up on a Friday on an indictment, Friday evening. So I had to spend the weekend in jail. And I went seen the judge Monday, and they released me. And then when I went back to court for sentencing, my plea deal was plead guilty to a felony possession, we'll drop the sale, and then do a year of drug court. And if you complete drug court, I'll plead guilty to a misdemeanor possession. So that's all that would be on my record, is a misdemeanor, not a felony. And I graduate drug court next month. So I had jail hanging over my head this whole year. And that kept
Well,
me
you know
from...
what? That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But once, like now they just started weaning me off the Suboxone, and I'm about to graduate drug court next month, and I'll be off the Suboxone in like 6 months or so. I don't know how long it'll take me to get off, but I'm nervous because once I get off the Suboxone, I'm not in drug court anymore. I don't have that hanging over my head, so I'm scared. It's been years that every morning I wake up, I take something. If it wasn't opiates, now it's Suboxone or, gabapentin. I have that physical addiction of taking something that I think that I need something to get up, to wake up. So, and I'm nervous. Like, I'm not going to lie, I'm scared. But I'm hoping that I can be strong enough once I'm off of it, when them thoughts come in my head, to change the subject. And
you need to stay with AA.
Hey, Chrissy.
Well, not AA. Okay,
Yeah,
my
Nick,
fire
you've,
alarm is on.
I hear that. Nick, you've come a long way. My grandma was my rock, too. I remember you putting that video out. And he'll own his shit, though. He will do that.
Open the door.
Is that a fire?
Yes. My daughter is cooking. 1 minute. Sorry.
I was on payments longer.
my daughter's cooking. That's gonna...
See, Tamara, I won't let them cut on me. I don't know, ma'am.
What was she cooking?
Free, Kimberly? Really?
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
My daughter was cooking
Right,
pumpkin
Tamara?
seed.
Yeah, opiate withdrawal is, it was awful. It was, I do not wish that on my worst enemy. And I was on high doses. Like, I was taking 4 or 5 Opana 40s, and those are like probably the highest prescription I think you can get. I don't know if morphine's higher than that or not, but Opana's pretty strong. They give that to like stage 4 cancer patients.
Morphine is actually not that.
Morphine don't faze me.
Yeah, it's not. People think,
What,
it's so strong. It's on the lower end.
What?
I mean, you're looking at like going into like dilaudid is like 6 or 7 times higher. Opana is stronger than that.
Opana is strong. Yeah, I didn't know if it was stronger than like fentanyl or morphine, but I know it's one of the top strongest ones, and I could do 4 or 5 of them a day, plus Xanax and everything else, and I was just crazy. So coming off all that, holy crap, I was so sick. So sick.
Yeah,
and you have to go in withdrawal before you can start your Suboxone. And before I got in trouble when I was on the street using, some days I couldn't find anything, and it was just, days I couldn't find anything. It was just, oh my God. I don't wish it on nobody. And I'm so glad I'm not there anymore.
There's nothing you could take to, because I know we did, drug rehab in the hospital. We occasionally had somebody up on the floors, and we would give them at least a benzo to take away the,
When I got cut off of pain management, I stopped going to all my doctors. I even stopped going to my primary care doctor left the office, and a new doctor was coming in. And once I got kicked out of pain management, CPS was in my life soon after that. I just quit going to all my doctors. I quit going to my back surgeon for my updates and everything. So I was done with the Xanax too, obviously, because I wasn't going to the doctor anymore. So when I was on the streets getting my drugs, some days I couldn't get anything. I wouldn't even think a benzo would help me in my withdrawal. I doubt it. I don't know. I never tried, I don't think. But opiate, I was, oh my gosh. It's bad.
Yeah, I once was given, I'm talking to the person who's talking about dilaudid. I was given a dilaudid prescription once when I came out of the hospital from having a stomach ulcer. I don't know why they gave me.
Exactly, Miss Taylor. That's what I'm hoping will keep me strong.
Well, you
And I'm
got to
glad
get
I
into
found
a
like all you guys
program.
and stuff too. I think that'll help. Sorry, Lori. I didn't mean to.
Well, you got to get into a program where you're going to have a really, really good support system, and you can never look back.
Yeah, I'm in
Like, you
NA. I
know,
go to at least
right.
4 or 5. I have to do 4. Sometimes I go to 5 a week. And I love it. I think I'll continue once I'm done with drug court, once I don't have to go anymore. I think I'll still stay going. Like I have a home group and a sponsor, and I probably won't go to 4 a week, I don't think, because it's hard to do with 3 kids and stuff like that. So, but definitely going to continue NA, and I hope I can stay strong enough. I'm definitely scared though. I have no willpower.
Well, you
I
need
can't.
to stay in a program then.
Right. Same with like dieting and stuff. I can't do it. If I see a cookie, I'm gonna eat it. I have no willpower.
Well, I give you a lot of props for having made it this far.
Well, thank you. It's hard. Definitely hard. But with jail hanging over my head, 4 days. I'm 34, and this is the first time I've ever been in trouble my whole life. And those 4 days in jail, and when I went to jail, my snitch was in jail, and she, I didn't know she snitched on me at the time, and we were good friends. So if it wasn't for her being there, I would have went crazy. Like she helped me out. She stayed with me, talked to me, and it was like, I had a friend in there. And the day I got out, I found out it was her that snitched on
She
me,
saved your
and
life.
I was sick to my stomach. I couldn't believe it. How could you look your friend in the eye knowing you're the reason they're there?
She
It was
saved your
awful.
life.
What's that?
She saved your life.
She did. You're right. You're right. And that's what my sponsor said, because, you know, you have to get rid of your resentments, and it was really hard for me. I couldn't forgive her. I hate it. I keep saying I hate her because I'm not there yet, I don't think. I'm trying. She did save my life though, and if it wasn't for her, you're right. But we were friends for so I just don't understand it. And
Well, maybe
she's
did
still
she
out
do
using
it because?
heroin.
But what was her excuse for snitching?
Because she had been
Was
in
she trying
trouble.
to
What's that?
like? Oh, she because she got it from you.
Yeah.
She's
Like I said, I was selling those pills for that guy. That's how I supported my habit. And she asked me for a couple, and I sold her some. And she was wearing a wire, and I would never have thought her wearing a wire, never. And I didn't sell um only to like a tight circle. Like it wasn't like I was out on the street selling to everybody. Um, but yeah, I sold her 3 pills and got in trouble. But she was on probation and stuff like that. She had been in trouble. So for her to snitch on me, she got her charge lessened or less time in jail or something. She snitched on a couple people actually.
okay, but where would
I
you be now? Where do you think you'd be now?
probably dead. I don't know. I definitely would be doing heroin. I know that much. I was, right on. It was right getting to that point, right at towards the end. And if this stuff wouldn't have happened as it did, I'd definitely be out being a heroin addict.
So that was the
And I
best
don't.
thing that could have happened to you.
Yeah. And that's what my sponsor tries to keep telling me. Like thank her. And my life's better now. I have my life together. I have my family. I have a lot of support. Everything's going good. And she's still out, doing heroin and being homeless and stuff. So, you know,
You have
I
your
don't know.
kid. Your kids will grow up to be better people.
Right. Yeah, I do thank her for sure. It sucks though, because I don't know. I just don't know how a friend could do that to somebody, but the addiction brain takes over. Just like I was talking about to somebody earlier asked about an alcoholic not loving you anymore. They do. They just choose alcohol over you. It's the addiction. So I blame the addiction for her doing what she did to me.
Well, hopefully soon you'll be able to be there. Now,
Right, Ashley?
how much more time do you have in the program that you have to
I
do
graduate
it?
next month. Or the beginning of December, I'm done. I've been in it since last September.
Now, do they cut you off from the Suboxone, or they're not gonna? They're gonna wean you after that.
They're weaning me down right now. I just started the weaning process last month. So I'm down to 3/4 of a strip instead of a whole strip. And they cut you down a quarter every couple months. They'll let me graduate drug court though. They just changed it where they're not letting people in drug court on Suboxone or let you graduate if you're on anything. But I'll be able to. And then, yeah, I'm weaning off of it. And that's what I'm scared about because once I'm done with drug court,
maybe it's not. Maybe it's not time to graduate. Can you stay in the program?
I don't know.
I mean, if you said to the courts, no, I'm not ready.
Right, but the court is separate from my Suboxone program. Like my Suboxone program, it's cares that I'm in. Like I go to counseling and the doctor for Suboxone, and I also get random drug tests there. So every day I have to call 2 places, and if it's my color, either place, I have to go in for a random. So it's almost like every other day I'm going in. So I would talk to CARES, I think, over drug court. Like I want to be done with drug court, get my sentencing done, and blah, blah, blah. I can just talk to the doctor, like I don't think I'm ready yet, and have more counseling and stuff like that. I don't think I'd want to stay in drug court longer. Because it's stopping me from getting a job because I have a felony. They're doing my background check and a felony possession comes up every time. So I can't get a job. I don't know.
So
I'm going to be able to do it though.
It's only going to be misdemeanor.
I just got to keep telling myself I can do it. I got support. I got my family. And if I feel like once I get off of it, I'm going to use again, they'll get me back on it. They'll get me help and counseling or whatever, I would imagine.
You just got to remember that little part of your brain that tells you to do it. That's the part you have to shut down and tell it to shut up.
Exactly.
That's the part that lies to you.
Right. That's what they say at the meetings. They're like, your addiction's waiting for you out in the parking lot.
That's true.
Believe it or not, I've never been to a meeting.
Same.
They help.
Not for that.
I hated it at first.
Al-Anon meetings, but not for my actual addiction of it.
Yeah, and it helps a lot. I like the program. I do. I hated it at first, though. I tell you that. I sat in the corner with, like, fuck you people. Like, I hated it. But now I like it. I'm friends with all of them, and I still haven't told my story to them, or I don't share during the discussions because I have social anxiety like horrible. So like these chats and stuff help me with that part. But NA helps me with like my steps and my sponsor, and hearing other people's stories helps a lot. Thank you, Tamara.
Very true, Kelly. Very true.
Right.
All right, guys. I got to get my child into bed. She's not really my child. She's my goddaughter. She stays here 3 days a week. And it's her bedtime. Or it's her wind down time. I have to get her going.
Well, thank you for the chat, Lori. That was...
Yeah, in a better week, we'll have a more serious discussion and, I can find out.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try that. I'm excited to try that.
If anybody wants to contact me in private, I hold all information personal.
What are you on Twitter?
I'm Mushy Boo Boos.
I'll put it. I'll put the link in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be glad to talk to anyone. And as I said, it's like 1 second, I'm interrupting myself. Restless leg syndrome. I have that, and it is so much better on the CBD.
I had that with withdrawals. Like horrible.
Oh no, I've had it since I was 4 years old, and it sucks.
Yeah. And that helps with that too.
Oh my God, so much, you have no idea.
That's crazy how much stuff it helps with. It's like a miracle, and that's why they won't legalize it. It's definitely Big Pharma would be out of business.
Well, yes, it will.
Okay,
Thank
I'm
you,
gonna
Lori.
follow you
I
on
really
Twitter.
appreciate it.
Look what it'll do for the snack industry.
Right.
Okay. So if you guys just contact me in private, I hold all personal information personal. And I guess I'll see you in the side chat.
Okay, I just
Bye-bye.
followed you on Twitter. Thank you so much.
All right, Lori.
I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
What worked for me when I get cravings is playing the tape to the end. I literally put myself in mindset way. I picture losing. Yes, Ashley.
Welcome, Juliana or Julianne. Julianne. Where did that person go? Korean Ranter. Are you still in here?
Right, yeah, I
They
heard
had
that
in the UK
Benadryl
too.
does that.
What happened to the other Lori? Kelly, she's still around. Lori hasn't been feeling good.
Yeah, she has a really bad tooth. Plus other stuff going on. Prayers for her, for sure. Tooth pain is the worst.
Yes, it is. Tooth pain is, y'all, something awful. It are worse than having kids. I don't think I've ever taken Benadryl, but like once or twice in my life, to be honest.
Same here.
Don't tell anyone else. I might lose my street cred.
I've never needed it for anything. Like I'm not allergic to nothing.
Yeah, me either. I think I took it for my sinuses, to be honest. That my eyes were watering real bad and my nose was dripping because I wear contacts. And my grandma's always, take this, take this, take this, take this. She's a nurse, so she's got all this crap. And I think she's the one that gave it to me. Hey, Stellar.
I put Toradol on. I tell the hospital and stuff I'm allergic to Toradol. Did you change your picture? I hate Toradol. It makes me, like, all my muscles like spaz out and my arms like stretch out and my legs go crazy. And I don't know, it's the weirdest feeling. So I tell them I'm allergic to that. So that's on my medical. So you can tell the doctor you're allergic to anything and they put it on your report.
Good night, Angel. Thank you for being here. Okay.
Good night, Angel.
I was wondering. We're good. Good to see you here. Benadryl is actually part of my migraine treatment. Really?
I heard Benadryl is like if you take it all the time, hard to come off of. Addictive. Or addicting, I mean.
That could be true, Miss De La Rue. If you stick a bar of soap under your fitted sheet before going to bed, it is supposed to help.
Kimberly, I've heard that, but I heard it was for Charlie horses in your leg, like whatever those are called.
I get those bad. I hate them.
The old people at the nursing home put soap under their sheets. Like that's an old like wives' tale or whatever. But I thought it was for like muscle spasms, Charlie horses. When I was pregnant, oh my gosh, they'd wake me up in the middle of the night. They hurt so bad in my calf. I got them all the time. Worst thing ever. Hey, Stellar. I liked your video earlier. That was crazy that she took offense to that one. Miss De La Rue, you can get some migraine glasses.
I might have to try that out, Kimberly.
I'm kidding. That was a joke. I've never heard of such a thing.
Said on Pinterest. I'm always on Pinterest.
Me too. Like I dream that I could be crafty. Like they have so much cool stuff on there, but I'm so not crafty at all. I wish I could be.
Bananas is what my grandma always told me to eat for my Charlie horses. She said I didn't have enough potassium.
Yeah, me too. My mom always told me that. MOM is good for cramps. Really? I was kidding, Miss De La Rue, because you know who wears those glasses, and she says they're migraine glasses. It was just a joke. Migraines are awful.
Doesn't matter, actually. My mom just puts it out the way at the bottom near her feet somewhere. Does it have to be a certain kind, Kimberly? Or just a bar soap? So far, Haley already has glasses. Y'all, I am blind. I literally cannot see nothing without my glasses or contacts. I have a restriction on my license. Haley already has glasses. Hunter does not yet.
My prescription's like a -8.
It's an old wives' tale and all in your head. But if it works, who cares? That's right, Tamara.
I'm like legally blind without my contacts. I think my eyes are like it's a -8.5 or something like that.
Daughter told me to have a square. Yes, I've heard that too, Donna.
Yeah, Stephanie, I have a friend that suffers from migraines, and they're like debilitating to her. I feel so bad.
Bullshit, so that's why I'm taking it. D, you have to cut out MSG because it's in everything a huge migraine trigger.
Yeah, some prayers for your little ones. Hopefully they come up with something. I can't remember that one medicine that they prescribe for migraines. My friend takes that, but sometimes it doesn't work. I can't remember the name of it.
Lavender.
Oh, wow.
Lavender.
I have 40 bars under your sheets. How do you sleep?
She says she'd have 40 bars up under them if she knew it worked. That's what she said.
Oh.
Like,
you sleep on bars of soap.
Blind in one eye, which I think is a huge. Yeah, exactly. Miss De La Rue, when I start getting migraines like that, I know it's time for me to go get my eyes checked. That my vision's changed.
Yes, Stephanie, Topamax. That's what it is. Makes you lose weight too. I feel like telling my doctor that I have migraines to get Topamax to lose weight.
I agree, Ashley.
That's what my friend's on, and I mean it helps her, but when she gets one and that, oh, it's awful. I feel so bad for her. I bet you that CBD oil helps with migraines.
You know, Tamara, that's funny because Haley and Hunter's great grandma, their daddy's grandma, she's the only one. Her and her husband are the only ones left living on that side. Because they lost their daddy. Then 9 months later, his mama passed away. She has those copper arthritis bracelets and swears by them. Swears they work.
Wow, Miss De La Rue. That's crazy.
My kids and
Did somebody say that CBD oil helped with migraines?
Mm-hmm. Lori said it helps,
with anything.
Kind of stuff. What did Stellar say, Ashley? Halloween makeup.
Stellar, your video earlier was spot on. You're so talented and so smart.
I need some editing skills. I'm going to have Vixen help build me a computer. I am getting ready to order me a webcam. That's what I ought to order instead of ordering makeup, right? That's what I need to do. Need to order the camera instead of ordering makeup.
A camera for what, like YouTube videos?
Yeah, for my laptop. The camera on this one is awful. Let me pull up Stellar's channel.
Kimberly, also, like that cancer in the eye, what is that called? And like if you take a flash picture and it's instead of red eye, it's white. A really good friend of mine, her son was like 6 months old, and she took a picture of him, and his one eye was white, and she was concerned about it. So she asked the primary care doctor about it, and they're like, oh, he went to a regular eye doctor, and they looked at him, and they said nothing was wrong, and they said just keep an eye, we'll just come back in 6 months or whatever. Well, she felt uneasy about it, so she called, like I don't know what they're called, a cancer doctor, and they did a scan, and he had cancer on his optic nerve or something like that. Can't remember what the cancer is called, but like make sure you pay attention to your kids' pictures. The holiday season's coming up with lots of flash pictures and stuff. If their eyes aren't red, or one's not red and one's white, or a weird glare off of it.
No, she's not, Tamara. She, yeah, they are using it in small children. So you got to be 18 to purchase it.
Oh, shots in your eyeballs. Ouch.
Thank you, Anna. Good night, darling.
Yeah.
Stellar's link. That's the link I just put in there. That's to her channel.
Does anybody know what that cancer is called? It's optic something. But anyways, thank God she caught it early. That he was almost going to lose his eye. She had to make a decision to either go for one more. They put him to sleep, and they go in there and they like freeze the tumor spot on there, or take his eye out. And she chose to go back in there one more time. And right now it's at a standstill. It's not spreading, and it's the cells are dead. Well, thank God. But keep an eye on your guys' pictures for sure. That's scary.
All right, I'm going to stay on till 11:30. We got 4 more minutes. I really enjoyed the chat tonight. It really touches me that Care Bear came forward and told her story.
Absolutely.
No cancer in the eye. That's scary. My papa had something in his eyes and had to do shots. In his eyeballs.
Yeah, thank you, Bless. This is a good thing to have. It helps. People come forward and talk, and get it out. Like, you're not judged, and I think it would help talking about all that. Yeah, you guys are awesome. I definitely look forward to more of these chats because they help.
I'm gonna do them Tuesdays and Thursdays. Mondays is makeup Monday, something to do with makeup. Tuesdays and Thursdays will be a stream like this. Wednesday will be our Bible study, and then whatever on the other days.
That's awesome. Good.
And it may change if something comes up. Sometimes, think somebody will reach out to me in DMs or something. And
guys, if you guys aren't subscribed to Bless, please do. She's almost to 1,000 subs. She's having a giveaway, right?
Good night, Donna. Yes, 1,000 sub giveaway. Design your own hoodie, and let's see how far away we are. Let's see. 47 subs away.
Oh, wow, you're almost there. Awesome. That's so cool.
Bless, I love that people haven't had any. Yes, Tamara, me too. We can shine a little bit of light through all the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I've done something positive.
Yeah, it's been getting crazy on here. It's been getting hurtful and just so much negativity and crossing lines that it's good to spread positivity and stuff like this, support. get your mind off all the craziness, hate, and please spread positivity. Please pray for B and Marla and all the people in here that shared their story. Take 2 seconds out and send a positive message to somebody.
Y'all can follow me on my Twitter. A lot of you I already talked with on there, or my Facebook, and feel free to reach out to me if you need me. Good night, everyone. Sweet dreams. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night, love bugs.
Good night, Bless.
For being here. Good night, Amanda. I'm sorry about B. Did I sing video where we are the world?